2 feasts ago. Hallelujah, hallelujah. All praises, glory, and honor to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
All praise.
Honor and glory of his only begotten beloved Son, Yahweh Melech, La'olam Melech, Yisrael, the Most High King of the universe, King of Israel. You understand? Y'all see the title, The Destruction of Nicanor and the Feast of Purim. That's what we're about to go over today, the destruction of Nicanor and the Feast of Purim, which is coming up rapidly for us. Wednesday night kicks off Purim, February the 28th through March the 1st. Tomorrow night, which would be the 27th, kicks off the feast that will we bring into memorization, the destruction of Nicanor. A lot of y'all may ask, well, who was Nicanor or whatever. During the time of the Maccabees, we were banging or at war with the Greeks on many levels, and Nicanor was like a general or a friend of one of the Ptolemies and all them. He was a friend of them, and he was sent to Jerusalem or the land of Judea to destroy our people. You understand? And he was a blasphemer, very proud, and the Most High used his almighty spirit and put his spirit on his stand-up soldiers like Judas Maccabees and them, and they handled their business. So that's something that we supposed to remember too. The 13th of Adar starts tomorrow at evening. The 14th of Adar starts Wednesday at evening. And the 15th of Adar starts Thursday at evening. You understand? So we got the destruction of Nicanor, which will be on the 27th. And Purim is on the 28th and the 1st of March. All right, so it's important that we get into these histories. I know we usually do a Monday morning quarterbacking, but man's goings are the Most High. So we figure we might as well go ahead and get this history out here to our people so they can understand why we feasting. Majority of our feasts actually got to do with the Most High destroying our enemies and redeeming us. This is powerful information that you need to raise your children under. Raise your children and instruct your household up under this vibration right here. You understand? Honor and Humility, STL, Hebrew Israelite Radio Network, Sector of the Nazarene, Order Melchizedek that camp out the STL. I'm your brother Malachi Maccabee. I got my bros with me. Y'all introduce you. Well, not introduce, but y'all know. Announce yourselves, brothers.
Yeah, I'm Ruth Ben Israel, Shalom family.
Shalom.
Your brother Ariel Al Ben Israel.
Aki Ariel in the building.
Yes,
huh? Yeah, kind. We're going to start this off, man. We're going to do a little bit of history on this destruction of Nicanor. We're going to be in the Apocrypha today. For y'all that don't know, 1611 Bible, the Apocrypha is part of the scripture. A lot of people get offended. A lot of people can't understand how or why, or whatever. We deal with the Apocrypha as well. As part of the 1611 King James Bible. We're going to be in 1st Maccabees 7 and 2nd Maccabees chapter 15. I would advise you to read all of Maccabees, chapter 1 and chapter 2. 1st Maccabees, all of them, and 2nd Maccabees, all the chapters. Very powerful and important information when you're dealing with our history and even world history. All right, we're gonna start this off in 1st Maccabees chapter 7, and then once we're done with going over this destruction of Nicanor, Nicanor. Once we get done going over the destruction of Nicanor, we're gonna get into the book of Esther and get to the history of Purim, which is another feast in the scripture. And a lot of our feasts, man, Passover, our enemies was destroyed. Purim, our enemies was destroyed. Nicanor, destruction of Nicanor, enemies destroyed. You got Feast of the Dedication, our enemies destroyed. So whenever the Most High would deliver us, we would throw a feast of gladness and mirth and thank the Most High for actually being with us. You understand? So this is not the first time government has been seeking to persecute the Hebrews. This is also stories like this also give us courage, man. You feel me? And hope to what? Find rest in our God, our Elohim, our power. And see, that's the problem today. We love to cry, why? And why is this happening? But we ain't even getting radical in our prayers like these brothers was. They got radical in their prayers, and when the Most High's people is discomforted, he shows up. But we have to start praying on one accord, man. You understand? Today, everybody got different beliefs. Like, how are we going to pray on one accord when everybody got a different God? You feel me? The Negro is not gonna win no revolution believing different stuff, man. You got to come under one vibration, under one God, under one spirit, and petition that the Most High to destroy our enemies. The Most High is not gonna fight for us, and half y'all Buddhists, half y'all atheists, the rest of y'all Muslims. You feel me? Scientologists, 5%ers. You understand? The Most High ain't gonna defend his people, man, if we all divided on who he is. So there will be no revolution if we don't get on one accord spiritually. It just is what it is. You understand? Well, let's start this off right here. We're going to go to First Maccabees chapter 7. That's what we're going to go to first.
And let me say something right there.
Go ahead. I'll handle your business.
This is a situation where, like, you know, they take our history away from us. We don't understand this is our history. We don't look at it under that vibration, that we don't understand that how these things apply to us as a nation of people. You know what I'm saying? We look at a lot of situations religiously. Like, this is who you believe you is. So we separate it from historical facts. But when you look at the history behind the situations, then we can apply that to ourselves. But that's how it's easy for us to have the separation. So many people believe this, and so many people believe this, because we actually don't know the history behind the situation. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this is definitely a good breakdown for whatever month they try to call this Black History.
Oh, yeah, they call this Black History Month, so we're gonna get into the Hebrew history, because the so-called black man, not only in America but scattered worldwide, that are victims of the transatlantic slave trade, they did bruise. They're the children of Israel. You understand? So this our history. While y'all talking Black History Month, and you only bring up Booker T. Washington, you feel me, or W.E.B. Du Bois,
right?
You understand? But don't even bring up real soldiers of the Most High, man. We got to give our children back that vibration, that spirit, man. You feel me? They read stuff like this and realize, look, we superheroes out here. Yeah, little Joker. Yeah, walk around like you own the world. That's the spirit we need to put on not only our short leggers, but our entire family. You understand? Like, we that deal in the eyes of the Most High, all we have to do is be obedient. And even when things are looking not good for us, he fights for us. So all praises to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Elohim, Yahweh El Elyon, meaning the Most High God, the Most High power. Right? So let's get into this, man. We in First Maccabees chapter 7. Start at verse 1. Let's read on through it. Again, the destruction of Nicanor, and then we're going to touch on the Feast of Purim. You know what I'm saying? Purim, different brothers with different, we don't get in all that. You understand? It's more about getting the understanding of the history and why we are celebrating and thanking the Most High for delivering us, man. And then roughly a month from now, is Passover. Pesach. You understand? When some more enemies was destroyed and Israel was shown mercy. Well, how could we ever turn our back on the Most High, man? You understand? We need to get that together. Let's get First Maccabees chapter 7. Let's start at verse 1. Right.
Want me to kick it off, bro?
Yeah, go ahead. Right.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 1.
Yeah.
In the 150th year, Demetrius, the son of Seleucus, departed from Rome and came up with a few men unto a city of the sea coast and reigned there.
Now, when it says the 150th year, it's talking about the 151st year of the reign of the Greek Empire, starting with Alexander. So this is 151 years after he ruled. You feel me? But his kingdom was parted amongst his 4 friends, and then they, ruled from their respective places. So this is the 151 years into the reign of the so-called Greeks. Feel me? This is historical right here. All right, let's read.
Verse 2. And as he entered into the palace of his ancestors, so it was that his forces had taken Antiochus and Lysias to bring them unto him. Wherefore, when he knew it, he said, let me not see their faces.
Yeah, because it's crazy, because it's deeper than just your skin color. Even amongst the so-called Greeks, they was warring with each other. They was beefing. This is about the Seleucid dynasty right here, right? Come on, Hebrew.
So his host slew them. Now when Demetrius was set upon the throne of his kingdom, there came unto him all the wicked and ungodly men of Israel.
Of who?
Of Israel.
See, so just because you were Israelite don't mean you righteous, right? You still have a moral compass. You still have laws, statutes, commandments, judgments, and ordinances that you're supposed to be living by, right? So We always had sellouts amongst us. You understand? So-called heathen take his power and authority. Here come the wicked amongst Zion trying to get them a place at Master's table. This ain't nothing new. Why you talking about Black History Month? That cooning, licking boots. You understand? Sheriff David Clark and Charles Barkley and Steve Harvey being a bootlicker ain't nothing new. It's been in our history. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Having Alcimus, who was desirous to be high priest for their captain.
You see that? So you got somebody desiring to be high priest, which is a problem. What you mean desire to be high priest? The high priest was for Aaron and his sons. So you had to be born from Aaron and his sons to be high priest. So at this time, you got being, because you had certain people ruling, they put their petition in to be a high priest, even though you can't desire to be a high priest. You got to be born to be a high priest in Israel. You understand? But once they start attacking our law, you understand, then everything's out the window. Now everybody's trying to get their little piece of the pie. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
And they accused the people to the king, saying, Judas and his brethren have slain all thy friends and driven us out of our own land.
I see. So you got the coons, the bootlickers, snitching on the real men of the Most High. That's Judas in them. It's similar to how the FBI sent snitches into the Black Panthers and all that. You feel me? Then had Negroes snitching each other out. Yeah. You feel me? That's how Fred Hampton got killed. You feel me? That brother was number 20, 21 years old when he got gunned down, but it was based off the information that another Panther had given to the police.
Killed him in his sleep.
You understand? Same exact spirit is going on. That's how you know these are our people, man. Same exact, you act the same way you acted in the ancient world. All right, come on now.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Now therefore, send some man whom thou trustest, and let him go and see what havoc he hath made among us.
Boy, Judas Maccabee and them wasn't playing with these heathens. While y'all knees knocking, these bros really served the Most High. His father on his deathbed told him, don't fear not the words of a sinful man. His end, his glory is worms. You feel me? Fight and bang for your God and your people all the days of your life. You feel me? Bang for the commandments of the Most High. That's the spirit Mattathias put on Judas before he expired. Before he gave up the ghost, he told him, hey boy, you better bang for your God and for your people. And don't fear these heathens. That ain't the spirit we rock in today, man. The Negro is whooped. He's docile. You understand? He's passive. He done been whooped on so long, just the thought of something like this will frighten him. Come on, Hebrew.
And in the king's land, and let him punish them with all them that aid them.
That's crazy. Come on.
Then the king chose Bacchides, a friend of the king, who ruled beyond the flood, and was a great man in the kingdom, and faithful to the king. And him he sent with the wicked alchemists, whom he made high priest, and commanded that he should take vengeance of the children of Israel.
So we send his partner back with an Israelite. You feel me? You're going to see who snitched on you. You're going to see who the turncoat is who turned sides. Alchemist was an Israelite, but he was evil. He was down with Massa in them, and he lusted to be high priest and ruler of his people so bad, because at this time we didn't have as a king. But a high priest would be our ruler. You understand? So he lusted to be ruler of Israel so bad he snitched out the righteous men of the Most High. He did. And so this Greek Demetrius sends his partner Bacchides back to Jerusalem with alchemists. The sellout bootlicker. Let's read, Hebrew.
So they departed and came with a great power into the land of Judea.
Yeah.
Where they sent messengers to Judas and his brethren with peaceable words deceitfully.
See, that's how this heathen get down. He come with peaceable words. Show up smiling, waving like it's all good. Right, by fact, if you can pull that for me, I think it's in Psalm 55. His words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Psalm 55. If it ain't 55, if it ain't 55, it's 50. It's one of them. Psalm 55, I believe it's like 17 through 20, 18 through 20 is one of them. His words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Even if you trip off the history of the native here, you feel me? He speaks with he said the so-called European speaks with a forked tongue. He show up smiling, waving like it's all good, but really war's in his heart. All right. Is that it?
Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. Say he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Mm-hmm.
He had broken his covenant.
Yeah, come on.
Verse 21.
Yeah.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart. See, so this is nothing new, showing you the history and how it lines up. His words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. He may be smiling. He may be diddly do, neighbors. Man, the scriptures tell you never trust your enemy. His words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. All right, go ahead.
Verse 11.
I'm finished.
Oh, okay.
You say his words were softer than oil.
Oof.
Yet were they drawn swords. So in other words, if they speak in peaceable, you understand destruction is coming. I tell you them Thessalonians too, when they speak of peace, no destruction is coming. Watch out for all that, man. You feel me? Watch the Jedi mind tricks. All right, what else is saying, brother?
Verse 11.
Yeah.
But they gave no heed to their words, for they saw that they were come with a great power.
The Jews and them ain't tripping off your little soft words, man. You here to destroy us. Huh? Y'all wouldn't have so many soldiers with y'all, man, if it was all good. Diddly do, neighbors. Yeah, whatever. Come on, Hebrew.
Then did there assemble unto Alcimus and Bacchides a company of scribes to require justice. Now the Assyrians were the first among the children of Israel that sought peace for them. For said they, one that is a priest of the seed of Aaron is come with this army, and he will do us no wrong. So we spake unto them peaceably, and swear unto them, saying, we will procure the harm neither of you nor your friends.
See, so when you hear soft words like butter, you dig, you got brothers that'll be like, oh, no, we ain't falling for that. But then you got other brothers who say, yo, let's try to make a deal with him. Let's be cool with him. You understand? The thing about this is the enemy does not change, man, when you're done talking. Like, don't forget you at war at this point. You already at war. They at war banging against these Greeks. And they show up waving the white flag like it's all good. Right? Judas and them like, nah, we ain't falling for that, man. But these other brothers fell for it. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Okay, verse 16.
Yeah.
He says, whereupon they believed him, howbeit he took of them 70 men, and slew them in one day, according to the words which he wrote.
According to the words, he slew 60 men. They let their guards down and believed those peaceable words and got destroyed. Sirach 12, verses 6 through 10. Right? When you get down to that verse 10, verse 11 up in there, it's going to tell you, never trust your enemy. For as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. Never trust your enemy. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
The flesh of thy saints have they cast out, and their blood have they shed round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them.
That sounds like Psalm 79,
yes,
verse 2 and 3 to me.
Yes.
Huh? But that's history that is played out. You see? That's history that played out right here in this apocrypha, amongst many other spots in the script. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Wherefore the fear and dread of them fell upon all the people, who said, there is neither truth nor righteousness in them, for they have broken the covenant and oath that they made.
That's what we read in Psalm 55, 20 and 21. He had put forth his hand against those that are peace with him. Huh? Words were what? Softer than butter, smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Let's read out.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
After this, removed Bacchides from Jerusalem, and pitched his tent in Bezeth, where he sent and took many of the men that had forsaken him, and certain of the people also. And when he had slain them, he cast them into the great pit. Then committed he the country to Alcimus.
See, so he done laid down enough Israelites to where this wicked Israelite alchemist, you understand? Now you in charge. Feel me? We done laid down enough of them. We done broke their spirit. Make sure you running things. We put you in charge and we'll run this territory through you who we got set up to rule. That's how they rule stuff, all right? Come on, Hebrew.
And left with him a power to aid him. So Bacchides went to the king, but Alcimus contended for the high priesthood, and unto him restored all such as troubled the people.
I think it's resorted.
Resorted, yeah. And unto him resorted all such as troubled the people, who, after they had gotten the land of Judah into their power, did much hurt in Israel.
Wow.
Now, when Judah saw all the mischief that Alcimus and his company had done among the Israelites, even above the heathen.
You see that? These sellout Negroes, boy, get power and rule over you and do you worse than the heathen. That's in our history too. Yeah. That's in our history too. Read Jeremiah chapter 33 and chapter 34. That's in our history too. We was oppressing one another, man.
We see that today. We definitely see that today. We definitely oppress one another. You know what I'm saying? Very moment we get something, then you can't go to work and oppress the heathen. You know, the heathen still over you. So you still looking terrible at the job, but you go right back to your people who you know is lower than you, and you send your oppression right on them. You know what I'm saying? So you still see it in today's time. You know what I'm saying? It ain't went nowhere. Spirit ain't went nowhere.
Verse 24. He went out into all the coast of Judea round about, and took vengeance of them that had revolted from him, so that they durst no more go forth into the country. On the other side, when Alcimus saw that Judas and his company had gotten the upper hand, and knew that he was not able to abide their force, he went again to the king, and said all the worst of them that he could.
He realized he couldn't conquer Judas and them. You feel me? Because all Israel ain't gonna sell out. You always gonna have a righteous remnant. They're gonna be like, boy, we'll bang to the death before we let you get that off. Because at that point, you riding with the heathen. You understand? You ruling over these people, you riding with the heathen. Let's read, my brother. So now he go back to the king.
Right.
You dig?
Looking for some backup.
Yeah. Come on, Hebrew.
Then the king sent Nicanor, one of his honorable princes, a man that bare deadly hate unto Israel.
Bear who?
Deadly hate unto Israel.
This was one of the evil and most wicked heathens that ever breathed oxygen on this earth. And that's a heavy statement because it's been many wicked and diabolical heathens that have come and gone in history. You understand? This cat right here couldn't stand a Hebrew. He couldn't stand the sight of an Israelite. This was a straight heathen. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 26 from the top. Then the king sent Nicanor, one of his honorable princes, a man that bare deadly hate unto Israel, with commandment to destroy the people.
Y'all heard that? Come on.
So Nicanor came to Jerusalem with a great force, and sent unto Judas and his brethren deceitfully with friendly words, saying.
You see that? Look, the heathen always got to come in. The enemy gonna come in speaking peacefully, but in his heart, he coming to destroy. Never forget that. We have history so we can learn from history. Learn from the mistakes of those that lived before us. That's why we have history. Right? So even in this time, we got the time where the Antichrist about to take rule. You got the United States Embassy being switched from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. They thought they was going to do that in 2019. They say, no, we're going to make that on May 14th this year. For Israel's, the state of Israel, the imposter Jews, we're going to make that on their 70th anniversary. We're going to move the United States Embassy to Israel. To Jerusalem.
Right.
Showing you and showing the world that the United States is backing the so-called Khazarian imposter over there, and that is going to kick off World War III. Because on the low, that temple that they making big hoopla out of, a big fuss over, that Temple Mount or whatever, how we know that the embassy won't be designed like a temple? How you know that? You see, this heathen always do deflection. They have you looking, okay, we gotta wait till they blow up the Al-Aqsa Mosque. How you know the embassy that's being moved from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, its design won't look like the temple? How you know that? Huh? We be on the brink of World War III with a move like that. And they say, look, we're not gonna wait till 2019. We're doing it this year. May 14th, 2018 marks the imposter Khazarian Edomite Jewish folk, their 70th year since they took the state of Israel, took the land of Israel through the Balfour Declaration. 70th year. How ironic. Let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 28.
Yeah.
Let there be no battle between me and you. I will come with a few men that I may see you in peace. He came therefore to Judas, and they saluted one another peaceably. Howbeit, the enemies were prepared to take away Judas by violence, which thing after it was known to Judas, to wit, that he came unto him with deceit. He was sore afraid of him, and would see his face no more. Nicanor also, when he saw that his counsel was discovered, went out to fight against Judas beside Capashamala. Or that is pretty much it. Where there were slain of Nicanor's side about 5,000 men, and the rest fled into the city of David.
Judas, he joins battle with Judas Maccabeus, right? 5,000 of Nicanor's side got put down. Come on, Hebrew.
And verse 33. After this went Nicanor up to Mount Sion, and there came out of the sanctuary certain of the priests and certain of the elders of the people to salute him peaceably, and to show him the burnt sacrifices that was offered for the king. But he mocked them.
See what this heathen did? Thought he was there peacefully. Thought he was there for your embetterment. Thought he was there to, hug you and diddly do, neighbor. Huh? See, when he realized that the war ain't go to his way, he goes up to Mount Zion, which is the city of David, right? The brothers and the priests and them come out to salute him. He started mocking them. Come on, Hebrew.
But he mocked them and laughed at them and abused them shamefully and spake proudly.
Spake who?
Proudly.
Wow.
And swear in his wrath, saying, unless Judas and his host be now delivered into my hand, if ever I come again in safety, I will burn up this house. And with that, he went out in a great rage.
He delivers an ultimatum. Unless Judas get delivered to me, so he got to go holler at the priests, because the priests basically are like the rulers of the people. Unless Judas get delivered to me, I'm burning this whole place down. Come on, Hebrew.
Then the priests entered in and stood before the altar and the temple, weeping and saying, Thou, O Yahweh, didst choose this house to be called by thy name, and to be a house of prayer and petition for thy people. Be avenged of this man and his host, and let them fall by the sword. Remember their blasphemies, and suffer them not to continue any longer.
You see how radical and how revolutionary your prayers need to be in this hour? You feel me? Because this type of situation ain't did nothing but make its way full circle. You've heard the phrase, history repeats itself. Or there's no new thing under the sun. The thing that have been is the thing that will be. There's nothing new under the sun. Right? If we are the seeds of our fathers, if they are the seeds of theirs. You see that? Now, notice in their prayer, the priests are not praying for a Bentley, a new chariot, a new house. Huh? They're praying to the Most High and asking the Most High to destroy their enemies.
Not another minute. Not another minute for the enemy.
Today, if someone was to tell you that you need to be radical in your prayers, if you're tired of the oppression and you're tired of getting your rear end kicked up past your shoulder blades, How many of y'all actually prayed to the Most High to bring vengeance to those that hate us? Like bring vengeance on them. Now we know we got to pray for our enemies, those of our own household, of our own people, that one day they recover themselves. You understand? But we talking about those that have what did it say, the hatred he had? Well, he had
deadly
hatred.
hatred.
He had heavy hatred for Israel, man. He don't care nothing about you, your wives, or your children.
That's right.
So when the last time being that we don't got no dynamite, we not putting on no dynamite vests, and we don't own no Abrams tanks or no Hellfire drones,
No.
or no satellites. But when the last time, Zion, you prayed to your Elohim to destroy and confound every wicked enterprise that the heathen has for us? You don't even pray like that no more, man. See, our forefathers knew the deal. We want to see results in the physical. We first must petition the heavens, man. That's where our help come from. That's the source of all our power. In other words, you know what he did? He called in the earth strike. He called in the earth strike. We got a host of angels waiting to handle that business. All we have to do is ask our Father to send his heavenly host to protect us, and it will happen. You see? You got to get more radical in your prayers, though. You steady asking for a brand new car and a house, and not for the salvation and deliverance and redemption of this people right here, man. But this is Black History Month, though, right? Let's read.
Verse 39.
Yeah.
So Nicanor went out of Jerusalem and pitched his tents in Beth Horon, where an host out of Syria met him. But Judas pitched in Adasa with 3,000 men, and there he prayed, saying,
See, Judas knew. Got to pray and petition the heavens. We got to holler at our Father. You understand? We need heavenly counsel before we do anything. Let's read, Hebrew.
O Yahweh, when they that were sent from the king of the Assyrians blasphemed, thine angel went out and smote 180 and 5,000 of them.
So he's remembering this history. That went down in, I believe, 2 Kings, I believe it is, chapter 17, chapter 18 up in there. Where the Assyrians was plotting to take us down, and we prayed to the Most High. You understand? That we would have victory in this battle. We went to sleep, and overnight the Most High sent one angel to the army of the Assyrians. They woke up, it was 185,000 dead heathens. That's the power you got access to. And that's the power that scared these heathens. If you really want to be a threat for real, turn back to your God.
That's right.
Turn back to your God. You feel me? And start petitioning your God for the safety of his righteous elect and for the destruction of those who are wickedly plotting to destroy his people. How about that? See, you've been whooped so long in slavery and under the spell of Christian sanity so long, you dare not pray like that. You believe it's wrong to pray like this. You believe it's wrong. Let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 42.
Yeah.
Even so, destroy thou this host before us this day.
Judas is asking the Most High to destroy this army. Destroy it before us this day, Heavenly Father. Come on, Hebrew.
That the rest may know that he hath spoken blasphemously against thy sanctuary, and judge thou him according to his wickedness.
Judge him according to his wickedness, Heavenly Father. Huh? That everybody would know he was speaking blasphemy against you and your sanctuary. Let's read, my brother.
So the 13th day of the month Adar, the host joined battle, but Nicanor's host was discomfited, and he himself was first slain in the battle.
First body was Nicanor. You see that? You pray to the Most High in full faith and belief, and then you get results. Huh? That's the formula. In full faith, bigger the miracles. Pray in full faith. Ask the Most High to fight your battles. Because look, vengeance is the Lord's, right? Why you don't pray for vengeance? You understand? So first casualty of this war, Nicanor. Got bodied for talking blasphemy against the Most High, his sanctuary and his people. Got destroyed. The 13th of the month Adar starts tomorrow at evening, man. So go over these histories with your family, eat good, drink you a little wine, and as the Most High delivered us and protected us then, he'll do the same in this hour.
That's right.
Believe that, man. Believe that, know it. Go over these histories, get with your loved ones, get with your spiritual family, and sit back and rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High. I'm like, boy, I wonder what that was like, man.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like. It did, you know what I'm saying? I had to go to battle with these heathens who were speaking blasphemy. You know what I'm saying? Nicanor get dropped first. I remember how that was, waking up thinking we finna go to war, and the Most High sent the angel and dusted 185,000 of them. You know that what that would have did to your faith? Your faith to know that? Boy. Woke up like, ugh!
I ain't have to lift a sword.
I ain't have to lift a finger.
Right,
a finger, you
right.
You know what that's gonna do to your faith? Those are faith boosters, man. That means you petitioning the courts, the heavenly courts, and the Most High went into judgment for you, man. Never. You dig? That should make you feel good to know you got a direct connection to the heavens, and that if you need results right here in the physical, it can manifest quickly too, boy. Quickly. All right, let's read, brother.
Verse 44.
Yes, sir.
Now, when Nicanor's host saw that he was slain, they cast away their weapons and fled.
Yeah, because usually when you take out the bully first, everybody else with him run.
That's right.
Huh? Or they try to jump you, whatever. If you hit the head of the one talking the most, usually his partner's gonna leave.
Yeah.
They don't even want none. That's the psychology behind it. Drop the head first, cut the head, and the body dies. All right, come on now.
Then they pursued after them a day's journey, chased them a whole day.
The whole day.
From Adar unto Gezerah, sounding an alarm after them with their trumpets. Whereupon they came forth out of all the towns of Judea round about and closed them in, so that they, turning back upon them that pursued them, were all slain with the sword, and not one of them was left.
Not one of them left.
Not one.
All of them got laid down. You feel me? And this is what Judas prayed to the Most High for. Victory in battle. You understand that everybody would know that they better not blaspheme against the God of heaven.
That's right.
Victory in battle. You understand? To let you know it's a righteous and honorable thing to stand up and die and bang for the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, man.
Man, you see how them Israelites hooked up, boy?
Yeah.
So many Israelites coming, you fleeing from Israelites, running into Israelites.
They heard the trump.
You got to turn around and you got to run from them Israelites only to go up against the ones you fleeing from.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of Israelites, boy.
And then, like you said, they heard that trump.
Yeah.
That trump mean gather the troops.
Yes, sir. When you hear that battle, whoop,
yeah.
That's what it is. Verse 47. Afterward, they took the spoils and the prey and smote off Nicanor's head.
So after he was already dead, they took his head, cut his head off. Come on, Hebrew.
And his right hand.
And his right hand. Come on.
Which he stretched out so proudly and brought them away and hanged them up toward Jerusalem. For this cause, the people rejoiced greatly.
Also, the people wasn't sad, man. Dang, man. Massa just got a handle. And their prayer, the people wasn't praying, Lord, bless Nicanor.
No.
You know, allow him to really see your truth. That wasn't in their prayer?
No.
The people rejoiced greatly when they understood that their enemy was dead, man. Rejoiced greatly.
Yeah.
See, we got it backwards today, man. We've been seduced by the spell of Christianity. That's a hell of a drug right there, boy.
No.
That's a hell of a drug to where you think it's wrong for you to pray to the Most High to destroy those who have a butt-naked hatred for you, man. Who got all type of stuff in play. Executive orders, King Alfred plans, and Rex 84s, and reversible guillotines, and poisoning your water and your food and the air you breathe, and already know your sons and daughters about to be in a system and locked up. And man, it's a diabolical plot against this people. And your leaders have sold you out. They don't care.
No.
You understand? But had we known the whole time, all we had to do was have this spirit right here, man. Pray to your heavenly Father, man. Even the Messiah told Pilate, boy, I'll call a legion of head busters right now if I wanted to. I'm laying my life down. You see? The Messiah knew his connection to the heavens. And if we connected to him, we have the same access. You just got to believe, man. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 48.
Yeah.
For this cause, the people rejoiced greatly.
Yeah.
And they kept that day a day of great gladness. Moreover, they ordained to keep yearly this day, being the 13th of Adar.
So that's how we got the understanding of this day that starts tomorrow at evening, which is the 13th of Adar. Tomorrow night, which will be what you call a Tuesday night, February the 27th, kicks off the feast of the destruction of Nicanor. Right? And we supposed to remember this. And there's other spots in the second Maccabees, like chapter 15, chapter 14. It gets more into detail. It go into the supernatural help that the Most High gave to Judas and them. You dig? Like he gave some supernatural help to him. He prayed to the Most High to be delivered, and the Most High show up and deliver supernatural. Right? So this feast kicks off tomorrow evening, man. Go over this with your families. Go over this with your spiritual family, your loved ones. You understand? Let them know how special they are in the eyes of the Most High. Especially your children, man. Let them know that they need to read this and understand, like, man, the Most High God love us. All we got to do is listen and obey. Daddy, that's easy. What's wrong with you old jokers?
Right.
You feel me? The short leggers just waiting for instruction.
That's all.
They just waiting on instruction. You feel me? But you got to give it to them.
They take their faith away from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, all the comic book characters.
Black Panther.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden they want to go get pajamas. With these
Right.
men on them. You know what I'm saying? And not thinking that this is the faith and the spirit behind our forefathers.
Yeah.
You know, let us have the faith in that spirit. And get that on my pajamas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Spider-Man draws.
Real talk.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Our feast days are just awesome. They sure are, man.
Beautiful.
You dig? And when you realize the history behind them, it just gives you a chill. Like,
Let me turn my phone.
The Most High love us, man. Love us. All he's waiting on us to do is be obedient. How hard is that, man? Look, in this world, you got rules and stipulations and everything you got to abide by. Why not abide by and be obedient to what thus saith the Heavenly Father? Why not? Why not? Why not follow the flawless example of his only begotten Son, the Messiah, spoken of in the New Testament? Why not? Why not? Obviously, we get results. You understand? Obviously, we get results. All right, go ahead and finish that on off, Hebrew.
Let's see.
You almost done.
Yeah, just one more verse. Verse 50. Thus, the land of Judah was in rest a little while.
Yeah, let's go over to 2 Maccabees 15 to get a little more detail. And then we're going to jump. A little more detail, then we're going to hit Purim. I just want to give a little bit more detail into that right there. Again, the destruction of Nicanor starts tomorrow at even, right before sundown. And it should be a beautiful occasion, but always keep in memory what the Most High has done for us, right? And deliverance is not pretty for those that are on the other side. You understand? Redemption for us is not pretty or a walk in the park for those who hate us. There are those of other nations that we'll serve, man. We never against that, you understand? But their power structure, their nation, their governments, all that's going to be dissolved. Most High's going to break the back of these heathens, man. And when they see the power, you're going to have servants, boy, hunting you down like, man of Judah.
Right.
Man of Zion, what must I do?
How can I serve you?
Yeah. Time to get in order. You dig? It is what it is, man. You dealing with the kings and priests of this earth right here. That's what Melchizedek order mean. It mean king and priest. You understand? And our high priest is a Mashiach Yahushua, currently sitting at the right hand of the Heavenly Father. You know him as Christ in your English Bible. You understand? But he made us a nation of kings and priests. Right? We the ones that's going to be ruling. The saints are going to judge the world. Just is what it is, man. So walk in honor, love the Most High, embrace your culture. You understand? Never be ashamed of the gospel.
Walk with pride.
Yeah. All right, so we in 2 Maccabees, the 15th chapter. We're going to start at 1. We have to read the whole chapter. We're going to get right to them points. But I want to show a little bit more detail into the destruction of this blasphemer. You understand? And you see today, it seems like everybody that's wicked is in power. Not for long. Not for long. When you going to start praying to your Elohim, Zion? Like this. Oh, flowers and Jolly Ranchers and Now Laters and Buttercups and Snickerdoodle. You gotta get that weak spirit about your mind, man. You dig? It's time to ask the Most High for what it is that we really desire, and that's freedom, man. You understand? Freedom and to live forever in righteousness.
Well, you know, think about it, we so pacified by the money, man. He just trying to give you some money, you pacified by it. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole situation. You pacified by the money. Shoot you some money.
Give him a job, give him a job and some money in a house and a woman. He'll forget about the revolution. He'll forget about all this.
Yeah.
You feel me? He's comfortable now. All right, let's read, Hebrew. 2 Mac chapter 15. We're gonna start at verse 1.
I go ahead.
Go ahead.
Verse 1. But Nicanor, hearing that Judas and his company were in the strong places about Samaria, resolved without any danger to set upon them on the Shabbat. Nevertheless, the Jews that were compelled to go with him said, "Oh, destroy not so cruelly and barbarously, but give honor to that day, which he that seeth all things had honored with holiness above all other days."
Nigga know, like, we about to get this cracking on the Shabbat.
Right.
Feel me? And even the sellouts that was with him was like, look, hold on, pump your brakes. Yeah. You don't want to make this move on the Sabbath. Pump your brakes. Come on, Hebrew.
Then the most gracious wretch demanded if there were a mighty one in heaven that had commanded the Sabbath day to be kept. And when they said, there is in heaven a living Lord and mighty, who commanded the seventh day to be kept, then said the other, and I also am mighty upon earth, and I command to take arms and to do the king's business. Yet he obtained not to have his wicked will done.
He like, look, I hear y'all fat mouthing, but I'm mighty on the earth, and I'm here to do the king that sent me. I'm here to do his business. If there is a God in heaven, if there is, he's mocking. Remember we read that he was mocking earlier? It's getting more into detail now. He like, yeah, whatever. I hear y'all talking, but I'm mighty right now. I got the power, and look what it do. So this heathen is proud, man. Pride go right before your destruction. Ain't that what Proverbs say? Huh? Come on, Hebrew.
So Nicanor, in exceeding pride and haughtiness, determined to set up a public monument of his victory over Judas and them that were with him. But Maccabees had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him.
You feel me? Dead set on the Most High. Most High gonna help us. He can't allow wickedness to continue the way it is. Judas knew that. Like, man, look, Most High is gonna destroy this heathen right here.
It was great faith to have.
Yeah.
He going into war, already got the war battle won in his mind.
Yeah.
He got the battle won in his mind already.
Even if he's outnumbered, huh?
Even if he's outnumbered, he got the battle. He did already prayed to the Most High of situations that went on before time. So he at this point, he's for sure that the Most High is going to be there. He even got the battle won in his mind already.
See, and look, study his mind, psychology, study the mindset. You dig? Even if you look at somebody like Floyd Mayweather, right? He don't go into a fight thinking he gonna lose.
Right.
He go into the fight like, look, it's over. I'm about to wrap this on up. That's how you got to be with the Most High. You understand? You got to know he with you.
Full faith.
Full, unflinching, unwavering faith, man. You feel me? Like I'm talking about dead set on it. And the bigger the faith, the bigger the miracle. We're about to read about some of these miracles. Let's read,
verse 8.
Yeah.
Wherefore he exalted his people, exhorted his people not to fear.
Not to what?
Not to fear the coming of the heathen against them.
Don't fear these heathens. Because the Most High has not given us what? The spirit of fear.
That's right.
Shout out to Daniel SHALOM. He always say fear is an acronym. FEAR. False evidence appearing real. Shout out to Daniel SHALOM. He always say that, man.
Shout out to them.
False evidence appearing real. The Most High ain't gave us the spirit of fear. Mattathias, Judas Maccabee father told him, don't fear the words of a sinner. His glory shall be worms. You understand? So Judas knew, like, look, being he's the captain of the host, his men can't be scared either. You feel me? Because that fear spread like a contagious disease throughout the ranks.
Yeah.
It ain't just Judas got to be in full faith. Those that with him got to be in full faith.
Right.
You got to believe even if it don't look good for you.
No doubt.
By your carnal reasoning, man, you got to believe. Bigger the faith, bigger the miracles. What else to say?
You see that faith, just like it was saying before when we was reading chapter 7 in First Maccabees, where the men behind Nicanor had no faith. Once they say Nicanor dropped,
right,
it was wrapped.
They was gone.
Everybody else fled because their faith was gone. You know
they dropped their weapons first, though.
No doubt.
They was like, we don't want to even touch these.
We out of here. They surrendered. That was surrendering. You know, we don't even need a weapon. You don't need the weapon for what? Right. You're not fighting. Right. You're getting out of there. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. Yeah. Verse 8 again, though. He say, wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty. And so comforting them out of the laws and the prophets, and withal putting them in mind of the battles that were won afore. He made them more cheerful.
Man. So in other words, he ran down the history.
No doubt.
How the Most High always showed up for Israel when Israel was being obedient and had full faith. You understand?
Out the Old Testament was that?
Yeah, the prophets. Ooh, yeah, like I know that made a lot of you Negroes scared of the Old Testament. Drop your spill your coffee. You understand? Because how else you gonna comfort these people, man? You got to go back into history. That which was written aforetime was written for our learning.
Like History Month.
He go into the prophets. He go into the history of the Hebrews. You feel me? So he could give those that are with him a cheerful heart. Like, yeah, that is true. Yeah, we did grow up hearing them stories. Yeah, you feel me now? So they mind ain't fear. They not fearing.
Right.
They not shaking like a stripper. They like, look, that's what's up. Let's get it on. All right, come on, Hebrew.
He say, and when he had stirred up their minds, he gave them their charge, showing them their withal and falsehood of the heathen and the breach of oath.
Yeah, and he stirred up their mind. He gave them courage and said, man, look, these heathens are false, man. Don't even trip off that. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Thus he armed every one of them, not so much with defense of shields and spears, as with comfortable and good words.
See how he armed his people? So he like, look, even though we at war, he first had to arm them spiritually.
Right.
Got to arm them spiritually, man. Call to remembrance the former days.
Put their minds at ease.
Yeah. Embrace this, man. This is of the Most High. Let's read, Hebrew.
And beside that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them.
So he told them a dream, like I hadn't had a vision. Come on, Hebrew. What's his vision? Let's read.
And this was the vision. This was his vision.
A dream that he had. Keep that in mind. Okay, go ahead.
That Onias, who had been high priest, a virtuous and a good man, reverend in conversation, gentle in condition, well spoken also, and exercised from a child in all points of virtue, holding up his hands, prayed for the whole body of the Jews.
See, this is a vision. Don't forget this is a dream yet. Right? So he's telling it to his troops. Like, look, stir your mind up, be of good courage. And on top of that, I done had a dream. Don't it say in Joel that in the last days the Most High shall pour out the Spirit on all flesh? And your sons and daughters shall prophesy and what? Dream dreams.
That's right.
Huh? All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 13. This done, in like manner, there appeared a man with gray hair.
In his dream, right? A man of gray hairs. Go ahead.
And exceeding glorious, who was of a wonderful and excellent majesty.
Come on.
Then Onias answered, saying, this is a lover of the brethren, who prayeth much for the people and for the holy city, to wit, Jeremiah, the prophet of Yah.
To wit means that is Jeremiah, the prophet of the Most High, appeared in his dream. All right, appeared to him in his dream. He like Onias, the high priest, somebody that's reverenced and all that. Then while Onias is speaking, there's an old man that appeared, right? And then Onias knew who he was right out the gate and was like, that's Jeremiah the prophet. All this is going on in Judas Maccabee's dream. Prophet of the Most High. Well, Jeremiah appears and Onias the high priest. They in Judas Maccabee's vision.
That he's sharing with
sharing with his troops. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Whereupon Jeremiah, holding forth his right hand, gave to Judas a sword of gold. And in giving it spake thus.
Come on.
Take this holy sword, a gift from Yah, with the which thou shalt wound the adversary.
So in his vision, he got a sword from Jeremiah that Jeremiah got from the Almighty. Basically letting it be known you about to be victorious in battle. Don't fear these heathens. He's telling this dream to his soldiers. Jeremiah straight gave me a sword from the Almighty. And told me a golden sword and said we're gonna be victorious. We're gonna fight the enemies of the Most High.
Can't think nothing else about a golden sword. Like what's gonna capitalize that?
Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 17. Thus being well comforted by the words of Judas, which were very good, and able to stir them up to valor.
Yeah.
Okay. And to encourage the hearts of the young men, they determined not to pitch camp, but courageously to set upon them, and manfully to try the matter by conflict.
They were ready to bang. They like, what? Your Jeremiah gave a golden sword to you? You dreamed? And then he also is encouraging them by going over the mighty acts that the Most High have done for Israel in the past. So them brothers like, look, later for pitching tent, man.
Right.
We about this action. What's good? Conflict. Let's get it done. Come on, Hebrew.
Because the city of the sanctuary and the temple were in danger.
You see that? It's bigger than you as an individual. Your people in danger, man. You feel me? The holy city in danger, the sanctuary in danger. What you mean pitch tent and go to sleep? They like, let's get this cracking. Nah. Since it's been promised that we gonna win, you got a golden sword from the Most High, given to Jeremiah and given to you in the vision. Remember, Jeremiah had already been dead by now. Jeremiah was around when Babylon took down Judah. This is during the reign of the Greeks right here. There's a couple hundred years later. You see that? This hundreds of, if not 400-500 years later, Jeremiah already dead. But in his vision, he gave Judas a sword. So the bros, they minds get stirred up and they like, look, let's go get this done now, man. Why delay? Let's read.
It says, verse 18, for the care that they took for their wives and their children, their brethren and folk, was in least account with them.
Hmm.
But the greatest and principal fear was the holy temple.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, look, our families is in danger, our kinfolk is in danger, and our temple, man. You understand? Now remember, your body is the temple. If the temple is destroyed, you destroy. Let's read.
Also, they that were in the city took not the least care, being troubled for the conflict abroad. And now when as all looked what should be the trial, and the enemies were already come near, the army was set in array, and the beasts conveniently placed, and the horsemen set in wings. Maccabees seeing the coming of the multitude, and the diverse preparations of armor, and the fierceness of the beasts, stretched out his hands towards heaven, and called upon the Lord that worketh wonders, knowing that victory cometh not by arms, but even as it seemeth good to him, he giveth it to such as are worthy.
You see, he knew it. He like, they can have all the army and all the military and all the weapons in the world. Victory don't come through that, right? Victory comes from him who created heaven and earth. So you see, Judas, when he see how real this is, guess what? He pray. That's something we knows about this whole story. Before he go into battle, he prays. What you do before you go into battle? The Lord fights all my battles, but you ain't even praying for victory. You're not even praying for vengeance. You understand? And look, they wasn't just banging for their own personal families. They was like, man, look, all our families, our wives, our temple, everything is in jeopardy.
Right.
Today, you are an individual. You only care about your own little space. You understand? They knew, like, we about to be wiped off the map if we don't do nothing.
As a nation of people.
And they understood that their help cometh from the Most High. You feel me? We can't drill that and say that enough. That's where our help come from, the Most High God, man.
You gotta see, these were stand-up men right here. You know what I'm saying? Because these men was protecting of each other's wives, children, families, folks. You know what I'm saying? They was in protective of that. You know, these wasn't no scary bootlicking brothers right here. You know, it's a separation of that. And this year, we definitely got to understand that as men, like, what side is you on? Is you on the bootlicking side, or is you with those that's gonna ride at this time? You know what I'm saying? Because this time we could be coming back towards. And being that we come back towards that, then definitely you want to know who you rolling with as a man. It's who you gonna protect these women, these children, these elders. You know what I'm saying? That those that can't protect themselves or even fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna be those that's gonna be able to do it? If it ain't gonna be us as the men that has to stand up first. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no doubt. These here you see the example. These were stand up brothers. These were stand up men, ready to fight, ready to die. That's where we're supposed to be prepared to be. Verse 22. It said, therefore in his prayer he said after this manner, O Lord, thou didst send thine angel in the time of Ezekiel's king of Judea, and didst slay in the host of Sennacherib, and 185,000.
185,000 dead heathens overnight who were hell bent on destroying Israel.
And you know, it had to happen in silence because nobody knew it until they woke up.
They woke up. It's like, whoa. We get bow-legged. It's like, ooh. Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. So the same prayer you see in that first Maccabees chapter 7.
Same prayer you seeing, just in a little more detail. Second Maccabees 15. Where we at?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Verse 23. Wherefore now also, O Lord of heaven, send a good angel before us, for a fear and dread unto them.
They're asking the Most High to send an angel, send one of your hosts, send one of your angels. You understand? To destroy these heathens that are hell bent on destroying us. As a fear and a dread to them, just like you did hundreds of years ago. We're praying that you do the same for us. right? And that need to be in our prayers, man. Like pray to the ask your daddy, ask your father, man. Right? For the redemption and deliverance of this people and the destruction of those who are hell bent and sworn to kill us. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And through the might of thine arm, let those be stricken with terror that come against thy holy people to blaspheme. And he ended thus.
Let them be stricken with terror. You won't even pray to the Most High to strike your enemies with terror. You won't even pray like that. You think it's wrong, man. When Messiah said pray for your enemies, he's talking about those of our own household, the house of Israel. Huh? That's who he was talking about, because your enemies have become those of your own household. Yeah, you pray for your people, man. Yeah, you pray for your people. But when the enemies of your people, when it comes down to these heathens who have a sworn butt naked hatred for you, this need to be your prayer. That you strike them with terror. Not flowers, Jolly Ranchers, and lollipops. Not diddly do neighbor and snickerdoodles. Come on, Hebrew.
You say, then Nicanor and they that were with him came forward with trumpets and songs. But Judas and his company encountered the enemies with invocation and prayer.
Invocation and prayer. You invoke in the name of the Most High. Invoke or convoke. You understand? That means you're asking the Most High to destroy them. That's an invocation. They call on Yahweh El Elyon, the Most High God, Yahweh Zabaoth, Yahweh of the armies. You calling on the Most High. That's invoking his name, one of his attributes, the Lord of hosts. That's Yahweh Zabaoth. Whenever it's time for you to go to war, you feel me? Whenever the heathen tripping with you on your job, whatever, call on Yahweh Zabaoth. Call on that vibration. You understand? And pray that the Most High fight this battle for you. We didn't got results. I just seen a heathen turn red than a stop sign. I ain't have to lift one finger. Turn red than a stop sign. Then came back over to it and started apologizing to him. A few hours earlier, it was like, that effing Bible. I said, oh, okay, you blaspheming, huh? Huh? Oh, okay. Now I wanted to knock his teeth off, but I'm like, no, you can't get physical. You understand? Call on your father. You understand? Call on the Most High. Boy, that Most High sped his heart up so fast, he turned redder than a tomato. And was came back asking me for mercy. Call on them attributes. That's invoking Yahweh Zabaoth, Yahweh Zabaoth, Yahweh El Shaddai. That's Yahweh Almighty. God Almighty, Yahweh El Shaddai. Yahweh Zabaoth, the Lord of hosts. Yahweh El Elyon, the Most High God. You see, and many other attributes that you can call on the Most High, man. You feel me? You start feeling it all through your temple and your body and catching shocks and all that, and Most High go to war for you. You just got to believe it. You understand? So they came with trumpets. Judas came with prayers and invocations to the Most High. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
So that fighting with their hands and praying unto Yah with their heart, they slew no less than 35,000 men. For through the appearance of Yah, they were greatly cheered.
You see that? They slayed 35,000 heathens because praying to the Most High, they had success. And that's what that faith is, man. You got to believe the Most High is with you. You have to believe that. You understand? Come on, Hebrew.
Now, when the battle was done, returning again with joy, they knew that Nicanor lay dead in his harness. They made a great shout and a noise.
No, they were sad and depressed. Master's dead. Is we sick? No, they was happy that bastard was dead. Good. That mindset scare folks, man. It scare our people today.
I say, then they made a great shout and a noise, praising the Almighty in their own language.
In their who?
In their own language.
So these was Hebrews. They was talking Hebrew, man. That's why I was saying Yahweh Zabaoth, Yahweh El Shaddai, Yahweh Rofika. That's the healing attribute of the Most High. You ask him to heal you. Yahweh our healer, Yahweh Rofika. You feel me? And all type of different attributes of the Most High. When you start getting into that Hebrew in their own language, that's what they was doing. They was invoking and praying to the Most High and getting results in full faith, getting results. But the same thing can happen in English too. We ain't trying to know how you think, dang, I need to go learn some Hebrew for the Most High to deal with me. You actually don't. The Most High knows all languages.
Right.
You feel me? But ain't nothing wrong with you getting into your language. There's nothing wrong with that. You dig? But you can get the same results with English. Because it's all about the faith. You could have said all you wanted to in Hebrew, but didn't believe it. And it wouldn't have happened. You feel me? But they speak it in Hebrew in their own language, and they're invoking the presence of the Most High. And he shows up. The Lord and showed up and showed out. Yeah. Come on, Hebrew. Yeah, boy. Powerful,
man. Yeah, verse 30. And Judas, who was ever the chief defender of the citizens, both in body and mind, and who continued his love towards his countrymen all his life, commanded to strike off Nicanor's head and his hand with his shoulder and bring them to Jerusalem.
You see, trip off Judas, it says, who was ever the chief defender of his people, citizens, both in body and in mind. Judas was not no sellout, man. Judas Maccabees was a straight rider for his God and his people. Feel me? Today, you got leaders that'll sell you out for a chicken sandwich.
Man, that's ridiculous.
In body and in mind, man, he loved his God and his people, man. You know what I'm saying? Sacrificed his own life. Laid his life down. How about we remember our brothers, man, who laid their life down and gave a notable courage, a notable example of courage and honor. Why we don't remember these brothers, man?
Black History Month.
In Black History Month.
Black History Month.
But you want to remember W.E.B. Du Bois.
Right.
No doubt.
And Michael King, Martin Luther King in them. That's who you want to remember. Thurgood Marshall, nigga's a Mason, man.
Right.
The first Negro that said as a justice on the Supreme Court, he's a Mason.
Yeah.
What you mean? He had to sell out to become that. Y'all better stop this, man. How about we remember the brothers that stood up in body and mind for their God and for their people, man? You dig? And then you see what he did. He said he continued in his love toward his countrymen all his life.
All his life.
You dig?
Was it a retirement plan?
No, it wasn't no retirement.
Right.
I'm banging till I'm dead. I'm in the trenches till the Most High call me out.
That's retirement.
Right? You retire when you die.
Right.
Right? Then it say, what? Commanded to strike off Nicanor's head and his hand with his shoulder and bring them to Jerusalem. We're gonna make an example out of this devil. Huh? Let's read, bro.
Verse 31.
Yeah.
So when he was there and called them of his nation together and set the priests before the altar, he set forth them that were of the tower and showed them bowed Nicanor's head and the hand of that blasphemer, which with proud brags he had stretched out against the holy temple of the Almighty.
It showed bowed Nicanor's head and his hand. Look, you feel me? The same blasphemer that came in and had everybody scared. Here his head is right here.
Yeah.
Here his hands are right here. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 33. And when he had cut out the tongue of the ungodly Nicanor.
That's why I wanted to come to chapter 15 because it gets more into detail. He ain't just cut his head off, he cut his tongue out.
Yeah.
Chapter 7, 1 Maccabees 7 ain't going to that detail about it. It's a little more detail, right? Let you know he cut off his head, his hand,
all the
way
shoulder,
all the way up to his whole right arm, all the way up to his shoulder.
You see that emoji?
Yeah. Yeah. And then cut his tongue out. Why? Because he was blaspheming with that tongue. That tongue's cursed. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And when he had cut out the tongue of that ungodly Nicanor, he commanded that they should give it by pieces unto the fowls and hang up the reward of his madness before the
They
temple.
said, feed his tongue to the fowls.
Mm-hmm.
Hang up everything else right there by the temple. Go ahead, Hebrew.
So every man prays towards the heavens, the glorious Lord, saying, blessed be he that had kept his own place undefiled.
Powerful. Come on.
He hanged also Nicanor's head upon the tower, an evident and manifest sign unto all of the help of the Lord. And they ordained all with a common decree in no case to let that day pass without
Solemnity.
solemnity.
So let it be known, man, that 13th of Adar, you understand, is something that we need to remember even into this generation.
A solemn day.
Yeah, so it's a solemn day. You feel me? So you're going to find it in Leviticus 23 because the history had not happened yet. You feel me? Those are the feasts we got coming out of Egypt with that history. But then you got other histories like the Feast of the Dedication that hadn't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? We ordained that to be kept. Purim, that history hadn't happened yet. We ordained that to be kept. And even this destruction of Nicanor. A lot of us didn't know that. You understand? And sometimes the years went by and always get past me. I'd be like, dang, we forgot to talk about the destruction of Nicanor because we be just focused on Purim. You understand? We should be focused on Purim, even though these events actually happened probably like 100 years apart or something like that. Because Purim was during the Persian Empire. The Persian, and Persia ruled before Greece. So we already, at this time in our history, was already keeping Purim on the 14th of Adar and the 15th, right? A couple hundred years later, when the Greeks was ruling, this went down, and we kept the 13th of Adar as a feast. So the 13th, 14th, and 15th days of Adar, you feel me, are to be kept back to back. The 13th is the destruction of Nicanor, and the next 2 days of Purim, right? And which we were delivered from another evil heathen that was trying to destroy us, man. You feel me? This should boost your faith and give you courage and comfort. No doubt. When it ain't looking too good for us. We got a history that shows our God fights for us.
Right.
How about we start petitioning the heavens and invoking his name, man? How about that? All right. And look up a lot of these titles and phrases they call the Most High, like God Almighty. Look that up. You see, say El Shaddai. Feel me? The Lord of Hosts. You see that all throughout the script. Look it up. Yahweh Zaba'oth. That means you're actually saying the Lord of the armies, the master of the armies of heaven. Huh? The battle got to be, the victory got to be granted there first before it can even be granted in the flesh. Right? Yahweh, your or our healer. Yahweh, your healer. You understand? Yahweh Rofika. Yahweh, your healer. Right? Call on that enough times. You feel me? You start feeling that vibration all up in your chest. You look up, you ain't even sick no more. Right? And many other attributes. There's many other. I ain't gonna go over all of them today, but there's many attributes. We'll do a video over the attributes of the Most High, show you what scriptures we getting them out of. Go into the concordance, go into the Hebrew a little bit, show you what it is. You feel me? And that these brothers knew that back then because it said they was invoking the presence of the Most High. All right? Let's read Hebrew.
Let's see. Yeah, 30.
Go ahead, read Hebrew.
No, I got it, bro.
All right.
It say we in 36. It's saying they ordained with a common decree. No, we did it already. We in 37. But I'll reread that 36. And they ordained all with a common decree, in no case to let the day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 13th day of the 12th month, which in the Syrian tongue is called Adar, the day before
Mordecai Day.
Mordecai
which
Day.
we about to go into Purim. Another name for Purim, the day of Mordecai. See, so this history had already been going on, and they knew that. You see, we supposed to keep this in remembrance, man. Go over this history with your families. You understand? And your sons and daughters need to know that the enemies of this people, the enemies of our God, are enemies, and he's going to destroy them. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Thus went it with Nicanor, and from that time forth, the Hebrews had the city in their power. And here will I make an end.
Here will I make an end. He said, from that day forth, we had the city in our power. So we need to extrapolate and take everything we can about this story, envision it, and then apply it to your everyday lives, man. You feel me? All the problems and stuff we go through, man, holler at the Most High that he bring righteous judgment to whatever situation you're going through. You understand? When it ain't looking too good for you as an individual, or when, you know, as a nation, you see what's going on, our people getting gunned down in these streets, all the wicked diabolical plans set in place to exterminate Jacob off the earth. It's called Jacob's trouble, right? How about we pray that the Most High bring vengeance and confound any wicked enterprise against his people? Why we don't do that? You understand? Why our prayer is so soft now and passive and docile? You got to wake up the mighty men of war around here, man. You understand? Wake up the mighty men of war. Put this vibration and spirit on your children, man. Be around the crib saying Yahweh Zapao, Yahweh Zapao, Yahweh El Elyon, and watch the baby start throwing it back at you. Yahoo! A little girl saying Yahoo now. I said, yo, they why? She said, Yahoo! Like, dang, little baby. You know, it's 17 months. This little girl ain't that tall off the ground screaming Yahoo, because every day I just throw the vibration out there. Yo, they why? El Elyon. Yahoo! Okay, little baby, that's what I'm talking about. You dig? But the babies is gonna feel that vibration, start throwing it back. So at a young age, they're learning to petition the heavens. They learning to invoke the name of the Most High and His presence at a young age. You feel me? Throw that vibration on your wives and your spouse too. Just be saying it. Now we musical people, you know, put into a tone or something. Yo, hey, hey, why, hey, yo, hey, hey. You feel me? Get into the whole vibration of it. You start feeling that energy, boy. You'll start feeling it. You feel me? Because the Most High is real. Start putting that vibration on your people, man. Starting with your short leggers and your wives and your spouses. Throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? You look up and they start vibrating and saying it back, throwing it right back at you, like bang, bang. You're like, oh, okay, somebody listening. Somebody listening. If not, they ain't gonna do nothing but start singing a wicked song they done heard on the radio somewhere. Because that's in their subliminal. It's subliminal suggestion. So what you do, put righteousness in their subconscious. No doubt. Where they start repeating. They be at school, they're saying, Yahweh. You're like, whoa. You know, their parents be like, whoa, what's going on with you? You dig? They pure, they being obedient, they being raised up in the spirit, they keeping the commands of the Most High. The Most High gonna be with that generation, man. Right? But that's our job to give it to them. All right. Was you done with that? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we had 2 more verses. We cool on that. We cool on that. Let's go over to this book of Esther. Y'all read that first Maccabees chapter 7, the second Maccabees chapter 15. The destruction of Nicanor again starts tomorrow at even, right before sundown. Eat good, drink you a little wine, have you a festive heart, and read this history to your people, man, that they may have courage and comfort in the scripture. All praise, hallelujah. We're going to get into Esther next, about this Purim. The book of Esther, the book of Esther. All right. It's right before the book of Job. Book of Esther. We're going to start at chapter 1, verse 1. We're going to get into some history on what really is going down. We're going to kind of read through this. The chapters ain't that long, so we kind of going to read through this. We're going to stick and move, give a few precepts here and there. And again, Purim starts Wednesday at even. February the 27th at even. That will be the 14th of Adar, according to our calendar. The 13th of Adar starts tomorrow. That's the destruction of Nicanor. Rehearse these righteous acts of the Most High, man. Remember what he's done for our people in the past and that he will do for us in the future, right? If he kept his word when it came to the curses, you can take it to the bank. He gonna keep it when it comes to his promise. the blessings and the redemption, because he prophesied we was going into captivity, and that happened to the letter. The redemption and the promise will happen to the letter as well. All praises to the Most High. El Elyon. Yo, they why hey El Elyon. All right, let's get it done. This right here. There you go, bro. All right, we in Esther chapter 1.
You said squirt gun. I'm like, squirt gun. You ready for this?
Let's get her done.
Reading in the book of Esther, starting at chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 127 provinces. That in those days, when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media.
So this is the Persian Empire. So this history happened before the destruction of Nicanor. This history happened before the Feast of the Dedication that goes down in the winter seasons in Jerusalem. This was Persia. Remember, Daniel had prophecies of the coming kingdoms, right? Yeah. Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome, right? And then the history plays out. That's why when the Messiah was on the scene, the Roman Empire, that last beast was ruled. And then this ain't nothing but a rebirth Rome here. Same sports, same politics, same everything. Ain't nothing but a rebirth Rome. The deadly wound was healed, huh? Yeah. All right, let's get it out.
The power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him, when he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days.
What? 100 what?
80 days.
Wow, that's 180 days he kicking it. That's half a year, ain't it? That's about half a year. Well, he's kicking it for 6 months straight. Wow, come on now.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan the palace.
Still feast.
Yeah, still feast. Both unto great and small, 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace.
Right.
Where were white, green, and blue hangings, fastened with cords of fine linen, and purple and silver rings, and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver, upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black marble. And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse one from another, and royal wine in abundance, according to the state of the king. And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house, that they should do according to every man's pleasure. Also, Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zethar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal.
With the who?
With the crown royal.
Good old drink, good old whiskey, huh?
Purple bag.
I wonder where they get that from, huh? With the crown royal, come on.
To show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlain.
Now trip off this. It's the deal. These are the events that led up to a Hebrew sister becoming queen over Persia. All right? These are the events that led up to that. Now, the king calls his wife. He wants to show, because he's drinking good, he's feeling good, and he really want to brag to those around him about how beautiful his wife is. want to brag.
Mm-hmm.
So he send, you know, the chamberlains and say, hey, look, tell my wife come here. He summoned his wife, but she refuses. And she's holding a feast for the women. Where she at?
Mm-hmm.
Trip out the psychological impact. The queen refused to obey the king.
In front of everybody.
In front of everybody. You're going to have anarchy in every house if this ain't happening. Quick. Huh? King calls his queen. She refused. You can only imagine what she said in front of everybody. The look that was on her face. He want what?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'll get to him later. Right? So she's showboating in front of the other women that she throwing a feast for. Now, you know, so in their mind, they like, you can only imagine what the rest of the women thinking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that with my man. What you talking about? You feel me? See, Queen Vashti did that with a Ahasuerus, and he ain't even do nothing.
Tired of these.
Huh? Tired of these things.
Always calling me when he get full.
Yeah. He's chauvinistic.
Mm.
But look at the psychological impact. If he lets this ride, then guess what? There's gonna be anarchy in every house in his kingdom. Let's read.
Verse 12 from the top.
Yeah.
But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlain. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. And the next unto him was Karshena, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marsena, and Memucan, and the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom. Let's see. Get my book right here. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to law? Because she has not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamber.
They're like, look, we got a whole court over this.
Yeah.
You understand? That's how serious it is, man. That's how serious a commandment and a word is. Like how you showboat in front, you dig, like you running all this. Talking about King Ahasuerus, but you ain't even got the authority over your wife. She said she refused to even come when you summoned her. Right? Everything's at jeopardy at this point. You feel me? He gonna lose rulership of his kingdom, and every man that got a wife at that table with Vashti is gonna lose control of his house. This is serious. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 16. And Memucan answers before the king and the princes. Vashti the queen hath not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad upon all women.
See, like, look, all women gonna get a sniff of this. We gotta do something about this. Come on, Hebrew.
So that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes, when it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not.
Yeah, you see? Come on.
Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
It'll be anarchy, he's saying. You're going to have to handle this now. Because it's going to be anarchy.
Problems in the household.
You feel me? Let's read out.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus. And let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
She can't even show face no more. Matter of fact, take her estate. Give it to someone that's better than her. That's the drastic measure that had to be put down in the law of the Persians and the Medes. So anarchy wouldn't be going on all over his kingdom. You can't lose control, man. You can't lose control.
This was immediately done.
Yeah,
Right.
and
All
y'all
was still going on.
and you women get out your feelings. And this just because we're reading this don't mean we're women bashing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's for us to learn from. All right. We don't blame women. We only correct them. We don't blame women for nothing though. Like Adam tried to blame her. I ain't without a blaming, but there will be correction. Understand this. Nobody's above correction. So we don't blame women for the record, going on the record. We correct them though. All right. Now, this is not a woman bashing. This is in our history. Had not this happened, then guess what? We've been wiped out. We've been wiped out as we keep reading the story. We've been wiped off the map. Come on now.
Verse 20. And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor.
Yeah.
Both to great and small.
See, they knew it. If you lay down this law like this, the wives will honor their husbands throughout your entire empire. But if you don't do nothing, you're gonna lose the house. You're gonna lose the house. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house.
Every man should what?
Bear rule in his own house.
Every man should bear rule in his own house. Right? He has the authority. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Of who?
Of every people.
This is an order they got to do with every people.
Right.
Everybody. That's just the order set up from heaven. You understand? The Most High, Messiah, man, women, children. That's the order given from heaven.
Yeah.
You understand? And if that ain't the order, you're going to have what? Anarchy.
Really?
Disorder. Out of order. All of it. Let's get into chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Praise to the Most High. And shout out to the sisters striving to be virtuous and righteous.
Oh, yes.
We salute that. All right. Salute the righteous stand-up warriors of the Most High in this hour as well, man.
Frontliners.
Who don't compromise. It is what it is. We ain't got long to the fall of Babylon. Chapter 2. What did it say? Hebrew.
Chapter 2, verse 1.
Yeah.
So after these things, when the wrath of King of Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king, and let the king appoint officers in all provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan, the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of heads, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things be purification, and let the things for purification be given them. And let the maiden which pleased the king be queen instead of Vashti. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so. Now in Shushan the palace, there was a certain Jew, whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shemi, the son of Kish, a Benjamite.
All right, so Mordecai out the tribe of Benjamin. Huh? He's out the tribe of Benjamin, Benjamin, or Benjamin. Okay, come on, Hebrew.
Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah. Jeconiah. Is it Jeconiah? Jeconiah.
That's Coniah in Jeremiah 22. Same guy.
Yeah.
Same exact guy. Come on.
King of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
So this means Mordecai was pretty old. He wasn't young. You feel me? Because we was in, when Nebuchadnezzar came and sacked Jerusalem, we was in Babylon for 70 years. All right. So if Mordecai was present when Jerusalem got took by Nebuchadnezzar, he had to be a young man. Then throw 70 years onto that, because after 70 years, Persia took down Babylon and ruled in the same place. You see that? Well, this means Mordecai got to be over 70. You feel me? Because he had to be a young man when Nebuchadnezzar sacked Jerusalem. If he witnessed the captivity of Judah by Nebuchadnezzar, well, Babylon under Nebuchadnezzar, his son and grandson, ruled over us for 70 years. And you see, after 70 years, when you read the books of Ezra and Nehemiah, a lot of our people went back and started rebuilding the temple. But everybody didn't leave. That's how you got the book of Esther right here. Everybody, all the Israelites didn't leave Babylon. A lot of us stayed back. You feel me? Mordecai was one of them, which means at this point he was an old man. And he had rank. He had a little rank within the kingdom of the Persians. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter.
His who daughter?
His uncle's daughter.
If that's his uncle's daughter, then that means they're cousins. All right? Your uncle's whatever means that's your cousin. Okay? So he brought up Hadassah, right? His uncle's daughter. Go ahead.
For she had neither father nor mother. And the maid was fair and beautiful.
So he basically looked after his cousin, you understand, after the death of her parents. So she was fair and beautiful, huh? That means Esther was fine as wine. She was bad, in other words. You did, feel me? Hey, look, more beautiful than Vashti. Vashti had to be beautiful too. For him to want to show her off to everybody, she had to be beautiful. But she can't compare it to her Hebrew sister.
That's right.
Come on, Hebrew.
He say, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter. So it came to pass, when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan, the palace, to the custody of Haggai, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house to the custody of Haggai, keeper of the women. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her her things for purification.
You see, he hurried up, boy. He seen her, was like, dang. See, that's what we men think when you see a beautiful woman. Your natural reaction as a man, naturally, in your mind, you like, dang. And then the question come out, you be like, hey, what's that? Hey, it's a reaction and then it's a question. Hey, what's that? Dang. That's just how, just throwing it out there as bros.
That's how it goes.
You dig? When you see a beautiful woman, it, dang. Like, what I'm saying? Your whole demeanor change. You be like, dang. You feel me? And even if you think it, or you gonna whisper to you, man, what's that over there, man? Dang. Huh? Ain't nothing like a beautiful daughter of Zion. Just be real. Go ahead, Hebrew.
With such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens, which were meet to be given her out of the king's house, and he prepared her and her maidens unto the best place of the house of the women.
Hey, hook her up.
Right.
Give her purification thing, give her smell good, give her all that fine linen. You feel me? She put fire in my bones. Hook her up. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Esther had not shown her people, nor her kindred,
for
Mordecai had charged her that she should not show it.
You see that? So she wasn't an outward Israelite.
Right.
She wasn't outward with it. A lot of y'all brothers, throw out there, you ain't got the fringes. And we don't wear fringes every day. I mean, you catch brothers with their culture on and all that. But at this point, she was told to hide her kindred. That means she couldn't be Israel outwardly. You feel me? How else do you hide your kindred? You can't change your DNA. And also let you know, man, even in the ancient world, it was people of color all over the place, man. You understand? And if we read some of the provinces that he ruled, you're going to see a lot of them dark-skinned countries. Ethiopia and all that. You dig? This is what it is, man. All right, come on, Hebrew.
11.
It says in verse 11, and Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her. Now, when every maid's turn was come to go in to King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of women. For so were the days of their purification accomplished, to wit 6 months with oil of myrrh.
So the daughters, the women had to go through a whole year of purification. 6 months of what?
Of oil and myrrh.
Oil and myrrh. Y'all know y'all sisters love that smell good stuff.
Marinate.
Feel me? Marinating up in that deal. Marinating up in that deal, boy. You feel me? And as a man, you love a righteous smelling sister. That, you feel me? You be like, man,
is that why they call them tenders?
Yeah, tenders. Yeah, that's why they call them tenders. You feel me? Marinate, boy. You marinate for 6 months. Ooh, you sisters imagine that. You're gonna marinate 6 months of oil. You know, I got a little frankincense right here.
Yeah, they're coming.
You may not be able to marinate that for those 6 months or nothing.
Nah, I don't think that's gonna
that means they had a whole bunch of they had this at their disposal, man. But the myrrh was for the, you know what I'm saying? The myrrh usually was for the women sometimes. This that frankincense right here. But she marinate, you dig, for 6 months in oil and myrrh. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
6 months with sweet odors.
And 6 months with sweet who?
Odors. And with other things for the purifying of women.
You feel me? So by the time you come in front of that king, you just, it's just flowing out your pore.
Permeate.
You feel me? Yeah. I smelled you coming. I heard you flip-flopping around the corner. What's good, Hebrew?
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Then thus came every maiden unto the king. Whosoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house. In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned unto the second house of the women, to the custody of, what's that? Shashgag? Shashgag.
What you at? What
verse 14?
Verse 14. Oh, that's Sha'azgaz.
Sha'azgaz.
Yes, sir. Sha'azgaz.
The king's chamberlain, which kept the concubine, which came into the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her. So Esther was taken unto the king Ahasuerus, into his house royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebet, in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head. She put that crown I put on her head that was on Vashti, it was on Esther. And what you're seeing is it ain't another race on this planet. You know, you may bump into other, sisters or other women of other races that may have a little appeal to them, but there ain't a sister on this planet that can deal with these Hebrew sisters when they in their righteousness. You feel me? It's like, he loved her above all the women. And he a king, that means he got concubines and all that. You feel me? And he like, look, they can't compare to her. So that's showing you even through the scriptures, you understand that it ain't even a competition, it ain't even close. You understand? We just need the sisters to be in a righteous order and vibration.
Right.
You feel me? And really, in essence, that's where your power come from. You feel me? When you in your proper order and obedient, you feel me, beauty and righteousness would just be pouring out your pores. You feel me? Like Judith was so beautiful, they stopped banging when she walked through the camp. They was at war. They seen her, was like, dang, you just gonna kill this brother. You did. When she walk in the room, the whole thought of war and bloodshed is off the table. You feel me? That's power, sisters. You feel me? But in its proper order. The day you think it's powerful, bumping your gums and getting on your tippy toes, pointing in the man's face, that ain't power.
No.
That's ugly and out of order. When y'all in order, you feel me? According to the scripture, oh man, look, there ain't another woman on the earth that can compare to y'all. It's just the truth. All right, come on, Hebrew. We read it in the scriptures. We ain't making it up. We reading it. Come on, out.
And made her queen instead of Vashti. Then the king made a great feast unto all princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the province and gave gifts according to the state of the king. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate. Esther had not yet shown her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh.
Bigthan and Teresh. Well, you sound like some no good cats right here, man.
Yeah.
You sound like you up to no good.
Bigthan
and Teresh. Boy, y'all sound like y'all about to rob something. Something ain't right with that.
Yeah.
That name, those names don't sound right.
Sound like they up to no good.
Yeah, you up to no good with a name like Bigthan and Teresh. Come on, bro.
of those which kept the door were wroth and sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus.
Oh, they plotting on the king, huh? Go ahead, Doc.
And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther, the queen. And Esther certified the king, therefore, in Mordecai's name. And when inquisition was made of this matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
All right, let's get into chapter 3. Sounds like all going well so far. You know, Hebrew sister queen over the empire. They got us in subjection. You dig? She's the most beautiful woman out of all his women. She's soaking 6 months in myrrh and oils and another 6 months in beautiful, fresh perfumes. And it's just what it is. So it sounds good thus far. But nothing, life is a roller coaster. It's never just like, it's always up and down. So the drama got to come in. All right, let's get into chapter 3. So we can get to this history of Purim. All right, why is it called Purim? You dig? What does it mean? What are the events that happen? All right, let's read, Hebrew.
The book of Esther,
Yeah.
chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
You get Agag was the king of Amalek when you go read 1 Samuel 15. All right, Amalek is a grandson of Esau. When you read 1 Chronicles chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 up in there, you're going to see Esau when these Amalek is one of his grandsons. All right, when you read the extended version of Esther in the Apocrypha, the same Haman, the son of Agag, who was a descendant of Amalek, who was a descendant of Esau, this same Haman is called a Macedonian. Macedonian, like Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian. Yeah. So it ain't too far-fetched to understand what's going on here, right? Haman, the Agagite, was actually an Edomite. Going back to 1 Samuel 15. You'll see Agag was the king of Amalek, right? And go chase Amalek down in Esau's lineage when you get into the book of Chronicles. First Chronicles, you're gonna see Amalek actually was a grandson of Esau. All right. Now, when you take Esther in the Apocrypha, you know, Esther has an extended version in the Apocrypha, chapter 16, I believe it's like 1 through 11. This same Agagite, a descendant of Amalek, this Edomite right here, he's called a Macedonian. The same thing Alexander was. Now that's just a quick breakdown. I know some people, you know, get caught up in the hoopla, Esau the Edomite or Japheth or whatever, but that there is a quick biblical connection to the Edomites and the Macedonians. You feel me? Now, if you still saying Macedonians or Arabs or Bedouin shepherds, then, you know, bring your proof on that. But according to the Bible, if you just connect them, go look up Agag, you're going to see he was the king over Amalek. Go look up Amalek, you're going to see he descends from Esau. Go to the Esther, the 16th chapter in the Apocrypha. Read like 1 through 10, you're going to see Haman was what? A Macedonian. Read First Maccabees 1:11. Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, became the first king over Greece.
Oh, well, history though.
That's
right,
just, you know, just a little quick rundown. You dig? Come on, let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
So Mordecai ain't bowed because you understand you a devout brew. We bow to the Most High. All right, not even to get his heathen no reference. He knew he was evil. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, Why transgressest thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand. For he had them that he was a Jew.
I'm a bro. I'm a Yahudi. You feel me? Yahudim. And I'm out the tribe of Judah or the kingdom of Judah. Even though he a Benjamite, he still was part of the kingdom of Judah.
That's right.
So he like, look, I'm a Jew. I can't bow to him. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman of wrath.
Haman was what?
Full of wrath.
He was full of wrath. He mad. He ain't give me no reverence. Angry. Come on, now.
And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai.
They're like, look, Mordecai, like all these people that's in subjection around her, these are Mordecai's people right here. Okay, come on.
It's gonna be a problem.
Right. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus.
You see this mortal enemy of this, a sworn enemy of our people. You think the prayers was to bless his hand? Huh? Oh no, we gotta pray that he destroyed. Based off because one of the bros wouldn't show him reference. He like, look, I'm wiping all y'all out.
Right.
I'm wiping all y'all out. You see? Never trust thine enemy. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
In the first month, that is, the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus.
The first month was who? Not January.
No, that was Nisan.
Yep. Or you know, there's Abib.
Abib, yeah.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
In the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pure.
They cast who?
They cast pure.
Pure. That's where you get this Feast of Purim from. Pure is a lot. They used to cast lots back in the day. You feel me? Some brothers throw out there and say it's like throwing dice. You feel me? To ascertain, like you're doing something to ascertain the will of the Most High. Like, well, look, cast lots. The disciples did it in Acts when they had to replace Judas, who sold out the Messiah. They cast lots to determine who was going to take his place. You see that? So something that they threw out there, and however it land showed the divine will of the Most High. Right? So Purim means lots, plural. Pure means lot. Purim means lots. All right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
They cast pure.
Yeah.
That is, the lot.
Yeah, it's just like when you speak in Hebrew, I see a lot of people say ox and a coatees. That ain't how you say it in the brew, in the language. If you want to say brother, if you want to say brothers, you would say akim or akiam. Some brothers say akiam or akim. If you want to say sisters, you would say akiot. It's not, there's no S's to make Hebrew words plural. You know what I'm saying? I see that a lot. You know, I be seeing people be like, yeah, what up with my ox? And a coatees. No, it's akim and akiot. That's how you would say brothers and sisters. All right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
Before Haman, from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar.
So they casting lots every month, huh? Every month, every day almost?
Yeah.
Into the month of Adar. That's the month we in now. All right, go ahead.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom. And their laws are diverse from all people.
See that? So he knew that.
Right.
The laws of Israel are diverse from all people, man. All right, go ahead.
Neither keep they the king's law. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
He's like, what are you even allowing these people to live at peace? They don't serve you.
Right.
Yeah, this is what he's spewing in the ear of the king. Like, what benefit do you have for these people who are up under your subjection and your dominion? What need do you have of them if they don't follow your laws?
They everywhere.
They all over the map.
127 provinces it is already.
Right now. And then you asking, and it's crazy because you doing all this because one man wouldn't bow to you.
Right.
You feel me? One man wouldn't bow to you. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed.
Dang.
And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business.
You see, the majority of our feasts got to do with our enemies coming at us to destroy us, and the Most High showing up and showing out. He said, man, look, if it please the king, man, destroy them.
Get rid of them. You
feel me? I'll handle the bit, but destroy them.
He got a plan and he got the money.
Yeah. Well, he got the payoff, don't he?
He got the plan and
yeah. Go ahead, out.
To bring it into the king's treasure. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
The who?
The Agagite.
Go ahead.
The Jews' enemy.
The Jews who?
Enemy.
Hey, let's hold your spot right there. Let's read in this Apocrypha. Go to the Esther. I want to show y'all real quick in the Apocrypha.
You got it, bro?
Chapter 16. We're going to read both verses 1. We're going to read 1 through 10.
Shout out to my boy Polo Rico out there.
Polo Rico.
Elihu.
Shalom family. Worldwide family. Elihu. Shadow. HTN, Hebrew Truth Network.
All you got.
You know what I'm saying? All the family, man. We love y'all and spirit and the truth. Y'all stay focused out there. Shout out to the soldiers. Shout out to the virtuous sisters. Striving to be righteous out here, man. Yeah, let's make righteousness the new trend.
Melanin Rich guys in the building.
Melanin Rich.
Yeah.
Mad love for our people, man.
No doubt.
So Esther in the Apocrypha chapter 16, I want y'all to hear it because we keep reading about Haman being an Agagite. All right? Agag. Keep reading about that. All right? Again, when you read 1 Samuel 15, Agag was the king of Amalek.
Go ahead.
Go back to Chronicles.
Well, you got to let me get it.
Yeah, go back to Chronicles. Like that. Read it out here. Right? Go back to Chronicles and you'll see we got it on lock. Go back to 1 Chronicles, chase down Esau's lineage, and you see that Amalek was a descendant of Esau, actually his grandson. All right. So it's safe to say that this guy's an Edomite. All right. But how do we connect him to the Greeks? How do we do that? Right. Well, let's read this right here in Esther, chapter 16 in the Apocrypha. Esther continues. The same history reading is in the Apocrypha as well. Now trip off what he's called in her. You understand? To give further understanding of what this is. And that's us connecting Esau the Edomite to the Greeks. To the Greeks. Esau conquered, man. Like I'm saying, a lot of people don't understand that. You're just looking at maps from after the flood, not knowing people have been conquered. Moved in and moved out. You understand? If you're tripping off Shem, Ham, and Japheth, those are landmass prophecies and all that. If that's the case, we're tripping off geographical location, then the people in Israel will be the Israelites.
Mm.
Yeah. You feel me? And we know better because we ain't there. As a governing nation, we not there. You understand? Majority of us are scattered to the four corners. So you're just looking at a map of mostly Asia dealing with Japheth and a few parts of Europe. And you think today, like, okay, well, they must be Japhites. You understand? Where Esau the Edomite, even when you get to the book of Joshua, chapter 60, chapter 61, all the way up to chapter 80 and all that, you know what I'm saying? That goes into Esau, one of his descendants, Zepho. He got up out of the Mount Seir and started conquering certain isles of Greece and around Russia, Armenia, Italia, Rome, Kittim, Greece. You feel me? I tell you right there in the book of Joshua. You understand? So, you know, it's a lot of history that don't get brought to the table when we speaking about, you understand, Esau the Edomite or Japheth or whatever people like to throw out there today. But these are one of the script next Esau the Edomite to the Greek Isles. Right? Start at verse 1. 16.
It's not a history book.
16 and 1. But they say it's not a history book, but hey, we sure reading about a whole bunch of history, ain't we? And we getting dates in the 100 and so years of the. Go ahead, bro.
Esther chapter 16, verse 1. Say the great king Artaxerxes. Artaxerxes.
Yeah, but it's the same Ahasuerus. He's just called Artaxerxes in her. That's the same guy, Ahasuerus. As we keep reading, it's the same events. I know it, bro.
The name is.
Right.
Unto the prince of the governors of 107 and 20 provinces.
How many provinces?
127.
Wow. Come on, hero.
107 and 20. Yeah, 127. From India unto Ethiopia, unto all our faithful subjects.
From India to Ethiopia. You feel me?
Lord,
and it's a lot of dark-skinned folk, man.
Yeah.
You understand? Go ahead, Hebrew.
You say greetings. Many. The more often they are honored with the great bounty of their gracious prince, the more proud they are waxing. The endeavor to hurt not our subjects only, but not being able to bear abundance, do take in hand the practice also against those that do them good. And take not only thankfulness away from among men, but also lift up with the glorious words of lewd persons that were never good. They think to escape the justice of Yah, that seeing all things and hand and evil.
This is the king writing this. This King Ahasuerus or Artaxerxes writing this. All right, go ahead, bro.
Oftentimes also fair speech of those that are put in trust to manage their friends' affairs had caused many that are in authority to be partakers of innocent blood.
Yeah.
And had wrapped them in
remediless
calamity.
He like based off the word of Haman. You feel me? Haman was a like he could trust them in managing affairs over his kingdom. So based off Haman's word, Ahasuerus believed him. You understand? And like, look, go ahead and put that hit down there. I trust you to manage my affairs, but he letting it be known that was fair speech. You feel me? He got into my ear and I trusted him to handle that business. I didn't know he had an evil or ill intention, an ulterior motive to destroy these people. That's what he's going over. He was like, look, certain people that get trusted to handle affairs become drunk with power. You dig? And if they got an ulterior motive, you understand, the king gonna be the one to get the hit for that. Like had that hit went down, it'd have been Ahasuerus who fell for that. You feel me? That'd have been on his jacket. Like this happened on your watch. All right. And it had been a remedy-less calamity. Because how you gonna reverse it after everybody been killed?
Right.
Ain't no remedy for it. All right, go ahead, Ebro.
Beguiling with the falsehood and deceit of their lewd dispositions, the innocency and goodness of princes. Now ye may see this, as we have declared, not so much by ancient history, as ye may, if ye search what had been wickedly done of late through the pestilent behavior of them that are unworthily placed in authority.
How about Haman? Haman was drunk with power.
Right, unworthily placed.
Man, but you get there in times, though. You know, if you a lot of people placed in positions of power. You know what I'm saying? And it says that they are unworthily placed. It's like it's that way. You know what I'm saying? The spirit is that you are. I got this position, and I'm over you. You know what I'm saying? So we get drunk with that. You know what I'm saying? Things don't be righteous with a person inside that position. Straight up. Wow. Oh. Yeah. Verse 8. And we must take care of the time to come, that our kingdom may be quiet and peaceable for all men, both by changing our purposes and always judging things that are evident with more equal proceedings. For Amen, a Macedonian.
For Amen, or Haman, or who?
A Macedonian.
A Macedonian. That's major right there. That we already figured out he was an Edomite based off 1 Samuel 15. The Agagite, meaning descendant of Agag. Agag was the king over Amalek. Go back to 1 Chronicles chapter 1. You feel me? You can even go back to Genesis 36, where it starts listing Esau's lineage. And you see in his lineage is Amalek. All right, so this is based off that. We know he's an Edomite. Right? So it's like, well, what's his connection to the Greek Isles? You dig? How are you calling Alexander and them Edomites? Japheth. That's what you hear a lot, right? Well, right here, this same Haman that we reading about in Esther is called a Macedonian. A Macedonian, right? Like Alexander, the son of Philip, the who? The Macedonian. That's First Maccabees 1:1.
Yeah.
First Maccabees 1:1. I'll read it real quick. Notice Haman is called a Macedonian, man. First Maccabees 1:1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim. That's what you know is Greece. Another name for Kittim is Javan as well. I mean, for Greece is Javan. Has smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. Alexander was the one to unite all the Greek Isles, but he was a Macedonian. He was a Macedonian. Yeah. Now, are you calling, for those that say the Arabs are Edomites, are you calling Alexander the Greek Arab? Some of you say, well, the Edomites are Bedouin shepherds. Was Alexander a Bedouin shepherd? Or was he what we know today, Caucasian? That's your homework. All right. Notice Haman is called a Macedonian. All right. Let's read, Hebrew.
It says, the son of Amandatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood.
This is what the king is writing. Now, Ahasuerus is writing this. He said he was a Macedonian. He's a stranger of Persian blood. Meaning he ain't a Persian. You feel me? Haman wasn't a Persian. He actually was a foreigner that the king trusted enough to put over his affairs and manage his kingdom. Go ahead, Hebrew.
And far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us.
Read on down to verse 14.
And so forth obtained the favor that we show towards every nation, as that he was called our father, and continue honored of all men, as the next person unto the king.
That's how much honor and respect they had for him. He was like a father. You see that? Let's read Hebrew.
But he, not bearing his great dignity, went about to deprive us of our kingdom and life.
So he had an ulterior motive. Dig, and he was the king's right-hand man. Huh? The right-hand man of the king. But the king writing this after the fact, he knew that Haman had an ulterior motive, this Macedonian. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Having by manifold and cunning deceits sought of us the destruction, as well of Mordecai, who saved our life and continually procured our good, as also of blameless Esther, partaker of our kingdom, with their whole nation.
Verse 14, trip off this Macedonian named Haman, his ulterior motive. Watch this, verse 14.
For by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians.
You see, he was a spy. He was here simply to take down the Persian Empire so the Macedonians could rule, and which eventually that happened. Alexander came up, the son of Philip the Macedonian, because the Greeks was always at war with the Persians. What you think the movie 300 was about? History. You understand? But he was a Macedonian. The Macedonians are Edomites. All right, let's get on back to Esther. Get on back there. Where you at, Hebrew?
We're in the book of Esther, in chapter 3. We stopped at verse 10.
Okay.
And in verse 10 reads, y'all there?
Yep.
It reads, and the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy.
Yeah, they named him. That's how you know it's the same guy, because that was his father's name in the Apocrypha. Hammedatha. You see that? Same exact name. So he gave him permission and authority to rule, execute that business, and he gave him his ring. All right, go ahead, Doc.
And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language. In the name of King Ahasuerus was it written, and sealed with the king's ring. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces, to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
This went out through the post office, man. Huh? Imagine you going to check your mail, boy. Sit down, sniff your Folgers, open up your mail, read the newspaper, check, click the Daily Mail, and there's been an executive order like they have now, the King Alfred plan, to destroy Israel. Where you spill your coffee. You feel me? So these New World Order plots that we talking about actually went down back in the day, and the Most High confounded them. Feel me? He'll do the same in this day. You got to have faith and believe, you understand? But this went out in every language to all his provinces that would kill every last one of them, right? And it's as if it's coming from the king, because Haman got the king's signet. So he stamps it with the king's signet, so everybody know the king ordered this.
Yeah, but you trip off the fact that he say to kill all of them in one day, then take their spoil. Y'all can have their house, everything they just kill them and divide it amongst yourself.
And like the elder Daniel Solomon said sometime, this is where that whole superstition Friday the 13th came from. I know this is on the 13th of Adar. You understand? Kill all of them in one day and divvy up the spoil amongst yourselves.
Was this the purge?
Yeah, this is the purge. Yeah, in Persia.
Right.
The purge in Persia. Huh? Because somebody got in the king's ear. Because he hated all of us that bad. Based off, because Mordecai wouldn't bow to him.
Right.
Wow. New World Order, executive orders being executed in the Bible.
Yeah.
See that? Ain't nothing new. What you think on the books now for us? Let's read.
Verse 14. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people. And they should be ready against that day. So it's in your mailbox.
Yeah.
The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed.
Yeah. Let's get into chapter 4, man. This is real. Executive orders being executed right now. They already got orders on the book to take us off the map. You understand? Like they was doing back then. This is how you know this is our history, man. You're doing the same exact things your forefathers was doing. Same exact thing. You was gonna say something?
Think about the chatter and the conversation at the coffee house now that the decree done went out. Everybody like, damn, this gonna happen when?
Tomorrow.
What can we do? You know, boy, look, that's crazy.
Yeah. Chapter 4. Verse 1 say, when Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning amongst the Jews, and fasting and weeping.
Yeah, fasting, weeping, mourning, praying. Why? Because we want the Most High to deliver us.
Yes, sir.
You something go out like that, man. You feel me? It's time to get in sackcloth and ash mode.
Yeah.
Praying to the Most High. Right? And what we saying is these days are here. Stop acting like, you feel me, you're gonna be you know what I'm saying? Like everything's gonna be convenient for you in this hour. Like that certain things are gonna be taken away to make us depend totally on the Most High.
That's right.
And your brothers and sisters that's around. You dig?
No doubt. And
you don't have to go through that. Go ahead.
We can see even with reading in the Nicanor how people strictly did not fight. They faith and everything was strictly towards the Most High. And belief and faith was there, and the Most High showed up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way that we must need to be. And it's ridiculous that at these times we really wait to these times when we are so oppressed that we have to do nothing but have faith into the Most High. Because we understand his enemy. Once his enemy get to coming, then where is our power? What power do we have? Where is it going to come from if it ain't the Most High? You know what I'm saying? This call get hit right now. We ain't got enough bullets to fight off this heathen. You ain't got that in one household.
Nah.
Not even many households. I don't think you can probably hold down a little bit of time. That time is on the emancipate fast. The heathen been drug you out fast as you can think. You know what I'm saying? It's over for you. You know, so we don't really have any power if it ain't the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Right. We ain't gonna be able to use war tactics if it ain't the tactic of what these brothers did. They're praying to the Most High. Yeah. That's the only tactic that we will have.
Real talk, bro. Excellent breakdown. Excellent. Just like it was then, it is not. It is not, man. That's the whole thing. You thought you can educate yourself out of this. Eat yourself up out of this. Work yourself out of this. Exercise yourself out of this. Huh? That's the Negro boy has a short memory. Nothing you've done work. Nothing you have done work. You thought you could slow roll this thing and get political. And slow roll this thing, man. Look, that ain't how power is gained, by slow rolling. This heathen took what he wanted. Was time for power, took what he wanted. You understand? The whole point is, I think what Brother Reuben is saying is that our only power is the Most High. And look, on the real, that's what God means. Elohim means power or powers. You understand? That's actually what it means. So he's the most high, our power. The Lord our God, Yahweh our power. Huh? Yahweh Eloheinu. Another vibration. Yahweh Eloheinu, the Lord our power. Yeah. Yeah. You feel me? We need to be calling on him. All right, let's read.
Verse 3 again. In every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning amongst the Jews, and fasting and weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved. So she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai and to take away his sackcloth from him. But he received it not.
Yeah, exactly. He like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on putting on princely robes. Our people are about to be destroyed. You understand? Let's read.
Then called Esther for Hathach, one of the king's chamberlains, who he had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was. So Hathach went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city, which was before the king's gate. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasures for the Jews to destroy them. Also, he gave him the copy of the writings of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go into the king to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people.
Like, look, you the queen, go holler at the king. You feel me? You need to go get in this earth. This is what her big cousin Mordecai is telling her. You need to go get in the king's earth ASAP. You feel me? The executive order that's on the books is being executed on the 13th of Adar. You understand? In other words, you've been put in this position for this very reason. You understand? To be an instrument of the Most High to save your people. You did? And so that shots fired to Negroes to claim the Most High don't deal with women. That's a lie. It's a lie as well. You understand? But notice this is a woman that's in order. You understand? She ain't usurping authority. She's in order. And in that comes her power. In that she's influential. She understands her power and her place. You understand? So that's the role you sisters embrace. Embrace the role the Most High has created for you. Because that's how the Most High will be magnified in your life, in your spirit, and in your body. By embracing your role. The men, we got to embrace our role.
Yeah.
This is what it is. You dig? But that's how the Most High becomes magnified. All right? Let's read.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
And Hathach came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again, Esther spake unto Hathach, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai, all the king's servants, and the people of the king's province, do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death.
You see, she's like, look, if I go holler at him and I ain't been called, I'm going to get put down. You understand? That's how serious it was. In other words, the woman couldn't just kick the door in. What you in her doing? She had to be called or summoned to him. You feel me? For her to come into his presence, she couldn't just kick the door down and come up in her fat mouth. The king had to summon her. And she knew that if I show up into the court, into his inner court, without being called, I can get put to death.
Yeah, see, this is one of the reasons why she even got her position. And because one woman disobeyed what one of the laws of which was what went down when a woman was called, that she was supposed to come. So she got it the exact opposite. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't supposed to come unless she was called. No doubt.
Come on, huh?
Okay. That he may, okay, let me go back. Who is not called? There is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come into the king these 30 days. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place.
Look, don't think that because you queen and you got all these conveniences and everything going good for you, that your people gonna suffer and you're not gonna suffer behind it. Don't think, in other words, you can sit up here in this palace and not do nothing. You're gonna have to say something. You understand? Even if it means you going in there and putting your life on the line for your people. But you're gonna have to say something. All right? Come on, Hebrew.
For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall the enlargement of the deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed.
You're going to be destroyed. It's like, look, our deliverance is going to come regardless. Either you're going to take part in this and get honor, and obviously she did because you got a book of Esther in the Bible. You feel me? Or you're going to be destroyed, and guess what? Deliverance of this people will come from another place. But you're not going to be able to sit back on your fancy robes and slippers, smelling good and doing nothing while your people get destroyed. You got his ear, go say something to him. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer.
She's like, look, this is the reason why you are in this position.
No doubt.
This is why. All right. So then she asked, go ahead.
Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, nor night nor day.
Now fast. You understand? Go ahead.
I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
See that? This is stand-up sister right here. She's like, look, we gonna fast. Y'all fast too. Right? Me and my maid's gonna fast 3 days and 3 nights. We ain't gonna eat or drink nothing, day or night. If I die, I die. You know what I'm saying? But she was willing to put her life on the line, you understand, for her people. You see? How can you not salute that? How can you not salute that? You know what I mean? Coward Negroes and Hebrews would have been hiding.
Yeah.
You feel me? Would have came up with an excuse. You did? You see, in both situations, even dealing with Nicanor, man, Judas Maccabee, man, loved his God, loved his people, in mind and body, his whole life. You understand? Mordecai loved his God and his people. Hadassah or Queen Esther as well. You did? To where they put their life on the line because the cause is bigger than oneself. Bigger than you, man. Bigger than me. You understand? This is about the Most High God and his people. All right? She said, if I die, I die. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
Let's do chapter 5. These chapters ain't that long. We're going to run through it.
Oh, yeah, it's not long. The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 1. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight.
Yeah.
And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand.
So now she can advance. You feel me? He looked over and seen her. Right, girl, what you want? What's good?
Dressed up like that.
I don't know, you dressed up, looking good, smelling good. Yeah, what's up? Feel me? The order could have been take your head. What you doing up in her? But after the 3 days, and nights of fasting, you understand, and praying and petitioning the heavens and invoking the presence of the Most High. You feel me? She put her neck on the line real quick. Another good point to bring out. Shout out to Sister Shadow on her Sade. She just said that when sisters be thinking they can run a congregation because they read Esther and they forget that Mordecai still was over her. Mordecai was giving her orders.
That's right.
Like, look, do this, don't do that. Feel me? Don't show your kindred. Go on in there and holler at him. You understand? She still had in head, even though she was, you know what I'm saying, married to the person. But this is the reason why she was in that position. Save her people. You understand? So excellent point, sis. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be given thee to the half of the kingdom.
He's like, whatever you want, you can have half my kingdom. What's good? Boy, beauty and some good smell, boy, it almost paralyzed a man. Like, whoa.
Told you she was tender for him.
There had to be a tender. She had to be a tender. But he put that scepter out in order for her to be killed. Hey, what you want? Whatever you request, it'll be given. You get half my kingdom.
Yeah.
What you want? That's right. All right, go ahead.
And Esther answered, if it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther had said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared.
So look at her. She done made a banquet. And she was like, come on to this, come on to my banquet. Bring your boy too.
Yeah.
Bring your right-hand man. Oh, wait. What is sister using wisdom? How she finna set him on up, huh? Set him on up. You did? Right in front of her husband. Right in front of the king. Like, this is wisdom, right? I done prepared a banquet. Hey, bring your boy.
Right.
You feel me? We need to rap. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to half of the kingdom it shall be performed. Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king hath said. Then went Haman forth that day joyful and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
So he leave about the banquet out, thinking he didn't got in good with the king even more because his queen is preparing banquet for us. He go out, he see Mordecai and be like, look at this nigga. I can't stand this nigga. He still ain't reverencing and respecting me.
Bow down to me.
That's all right. I got something for him. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 10. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh, his wife. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children, and all the things wherein the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. Haman said, moreover, Esther the queen did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared, but myself. And tomorrow am I invited myself. Wait a minute, I'm tripping.
Am I invited?
And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king. Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai, the Jew, sitting at the king's gate. Then said Zeresh his wife and all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king, that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou in merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the king pleased him, and he caused the gallows to be made.
Gallows, you feel me? 50 cubits high. A cubit, 1 cubit is like 18 inches. Oh, you feel me? 50 times 18, you do the math. It's almost over 1,000. What's that? 1,000 inches. You dig? Divided by 12, you get how high they was in feet. You understand? So you're looking at something that's over 10 feet high. You feel me? Maybe about 9 feet, 9, 10 feet high, something like that. You dig? And his wife, notice it was his wife that got in there and said, look, get some gallows made. You know what I'm saying? And go in there, since you got good favor with the king, go on up in there. You feel me? And tell the king you want to hang Mordecai on the banquet. You feel me? Before the banquet. On them gallows. But notice how he was in the king spewing wickedness, trip off his wife. So was she innocent? Because when we keep reading the story, you're gonna see who all got hung. And you be like, dang, why was the wife innocent? Because she spewed in his ear an idea to what? Kill one of the servants of the Most High. Build you some gallows and hang him. Make 50 cubits high and hang him. Let's read, my brother.
Chapter 6.
Yep.
It says, on that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king.
The king couldn't sleep. He said, man, get the records out. Get the records out. Something's bothering me. All right, go ahead.
And it was found written that Mordecai had been of Bigthana and Teresh, 2 of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus. And the king said, what honor and dignity had been done to Mordecai for this?
Now trip off that. Trip off that. He couldn't sleep. This be an act of the Most High, you feel me? Because the Most High always putting visions and dreams on these rulers. He couldn't sleep. He get the records out. You feel me? Well, Mordecai actually saved my life. Feel me? What glory and honor been done to him about this? He should have been honored. He saved my life.
Right.
Big Tan and T-Resh were hanged. But no glory went to the man that told me they was plotting to kill me. Right? Go ahead, Op.
Then said the king's servant that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him. And the king said, who is in the court now? Who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows.
So look, Haman comes switching his heathen rear end up in there to holler at the king about hanging Mordecai.
Right.
But how cold and how precise the Most High is. He already put the the king couldn't sleep. He get the records out. He's having a conversation about what a glory doesn't happen to this man who saved my life. Right? So when he was like, well, look, who's in the court? It just so happened this boy walking up. Haman, and he's walking up to speak to the king about killing Mordecai. You see how, what they say, the Most High is always on time, boy?
That's right.
Well, this is super precision right here. And you couldn't have planned this better. Like, you on your way to come in, I mean, you already know he got the king's ring, so whatever he say in the king's ear is going to get performed, right? But the Most High is so precise with it, and the king couldn't sleep that night. He get up, he checked the records. This man saved my life. Did we ever do something for him? They ain't never did nothing for him. Now, who in the court? Here come your boy.
Of all nights not to be able to sleep, boy.
Of all nights, that night, huh?
And out of all things that he could have done.
Right.
Being he couldn't sleep, the spirit got on him to go through the book of the Chronicles.
Yeah.
He went through the book of the Chronicles and found this out.
Wow.
Go ahead, Doc.
No doubt. It say Mordecai. I'm gonna go back. It say to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
Verse 5.
And the king's servant said unto him, Behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, Let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, What should be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom the king delighted to honor, to whom would the king like to do honor more than to myself.
So he in his mind, he thinking like, who else would the king want to honor other than me?
I'm the #1 man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm his right-hand man. Huh? The king asking about Mordecai, and he's asking him, what you think I need to do to the man or for the man that I want to honor? In his mind, he thinking he must be talking about me. Man, this is a cold setup right here. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighted to honor, let the royal apparel be brought, which the king used to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal, which is set upon the king upon his head, and let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal, whom the king delighted to honor, and bring him on horseback through the streets of the city, and proclaim before him, Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighted to honor.
So, man, throw him on that robe, throw him on that crown, throw him on that horse you ride upon. You understand? And make one of your most noble princes walk with him, parade him through the city. That's Haman's advice to the king about the man whom the king should honor, because Haman is thinking that he's talking about him.
Right.
Huh? Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Then the king said to Haman, Make haste.
Hurry up.
And take the apparel and the horse, as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew, that sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken.
Everything you said, do that for Morty.
Get all to him.
Get all to him, huh? Do that for Mordecai the Jew, right? Because the king don't know that Haman has a hatred for Mordecai.
Or that he built those gallows.
Right. Or
his
that.
plan. Yeah, no doubt.
Don't know nothing about that. Right? So how ironic. He said, look, and let nothing fail from your lips that you said. Everything you said that should be done, you make sure it get done.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, you know his heart fell out his chest. Boy. But you see, the Most High exalts you. We tell you in Psalm 23, the Most High will prepare a table for you in the midst of your enemies. The Most High take care of you in the midst of your enemies, man.
You see how proud his heart was?
Yeah.
He couldn't think of nobody else but himself.
Yeah.
So he thought of this situation. He thought of the best situation for himself. What's the best thing that I can see myself doing?
Stroking his ego a little taste.
I could be riding on the king's horse, parade like the king, got the king's crown on my head. You know, I'm one of your most noble princes that walk me down. Yeah, that's big. He visioned that good for himself.
Nigga, I'm in.
Yeah.
You feel me? He not knowing, hey, the very man that you hate, you about to have to parade him around.
Verse 11. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the city, through the streets of the city, and proclaimed before him, Thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning.
Crying. Heathen crying. Whole enterprise been confounded. We're crying, probably lip fumbling. Yeah. See, look, man, your arm's too short to box with the Most High, man. You understand? The Most High protects his. Yeah,
Right.
crying, lip fumbling,
He hasted to
snotting.
the crib. He
running,
running on.
Yeah, yeah.
having his head covered. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wife, his wise men, and Zeresh his wife unto him, if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews,
If he had chosen, right? If he had chosen one of the seed of the Jews, go ahead.
before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but surely fall before him.
You see that right there? Look, even his wife who uttered that madness in his ear, like, look, if he a brew, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. There ain't nothing you can do about that. Come on, Hebrew.
And while they were yet talking with them, came the king's chamberlain and hasted to bring Haman unto the banquet that Esther had
He
prepared.
got to wipe his face, get himself together. Dang. So right after you did that, you in there crying, fat mouthing. The king to send his messengers. Hey, don't forget you got to come to that banquet that Queen Esther done prepared for you. Come on.
He feeling bad.
Right.
He feeling bad. He ain't got that same pride that he had on him before right now.
But that same spirit, I'm in good with the king. It's all good.
It's over.
And while you're snotting and lip fumbling, wiping your face off, you did. Hey, don't forget you got to come on back over to this banquet.
Yeah, you got somewhere to be, bro.
Yeah, hurry up. You got somewhere to be.
We here to get you.
Man.
Outside, bro.
Boy, that plot cold, man.
Ooh, boy,
Come on with
it. The book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 1.
Yeah.
So the king and Haman came to banquet with Esther, the queen. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, What is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of the kingdom.
Yeah, so he's like, what's good now? Like, come on, this second day we here.
Right.
What's your petition? What's going on?
What's
right?
the skin?
What's the skin? What's the skinny? Ask it. Look, if you want to have my kingdom, you can have it.
Right.
But what's up, though? Let's rap.
What we here for?
Yeah, go ahead.
Then Esther, the queen, answered and said, If I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request. For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, Who is he, and where is he, that durst presume in his heart to do so?
King, like, who you talking about? Huh? Talking about harming you and your people.
Right.
You dig? I'm going to handle him now. Where you at?
Right.
Come on, Hebrew.
And Esther said, The adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman.
They looked over him like, look at
Well, you know, he probably had a rack of pool balls in his shorts after that.
Well, you know that neck when it snapped like that, boy, you know it's over.
Right.
That means I was deceived the whole time, boy. I thought you had righteous intention. You my right hand man, boy. You know your pops or whatever, boy, snapped that neck over you, boy. When you was little, you knew it was over.
Boy, now you can just think of what's going on right now.
Yeah. Oh no. The toe tag and bag him. He
and you know they all sit at the same table.
Yeah.
Now he just had to do this for Mordecai.
Yeah.
Ran to the crib crying, had to try to straighten his face up and everything just to get to the banquet. Just to hear what he was up to. Oh man. Now it's made known to the king.
Hey, shout out to Amir Yisrael. He say, nigga, who? What? You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like, boy, you can just imagine if you just put yourself there, man. That's why it's good to extrapolate. You know, pull all the details out of here and paint a movie in your mind, paint a
Right.
picture in your mind of what's really going on. You feel me? Because we act the same way. We act the same way, so you can just imagine. You know what I'm saying? You got his rib there. He like, look, you get half the kingdom. It's all good. What's the deal though?
What's up, baby?
You know what I'm saying? Well, we sold for no, man. They trying to kill us. What the? Who you talking about? Who? Like your boy right there.
This nigga.
What? Boy, you could like Ruben saying, boy, all this is happening to him back to back to
Right.
back.
You having a bad day, bro.
Boy, you having a bad
Man, it's nothing to end well for this, bro.
Boy, you having a bad day, player.
This ain't gonna end well for you, bro.
No, bro.
No, please.
No.
Okay, verse 6 again. And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
Boy, skid marked all in his drawers.
Yes, sir. And the king, arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath, went into the palace garden. And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen.
He begging a woman now.
Yeah.
Trying to plead his case. Come on, Hebrew.
Oh, for his life to Esther the queen, for he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
Yeah, player.
But the king had to get up, take a walk.
Yeah, let me go on out here in the garden
and cool off for a second, get this thing right.
Yeah.
So then the king returned out of the palace garden into the palace or into the place of the banquet of wine. So he done came back in. And Haman was falling upon the bed whereon Esther was.
This nigga's in the bed of his queen. Boy, this cat is tripping.
Yeah,
boy.
he on one, ain't he?
Come on, Hebrew.
Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house?
Like this boy, this heathen done lost his mind. He about to take my woman as well? He in the bed crying.
Yeah. As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face.
Oh, yeah. You know that little hangman's bag they put over your head, boy?
Yeah.
For the hang, went black on him. Lights out. Lights out.
Pillowcase.
Yeah, pillowcase. Pillowcase that heathen. Oh, man.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
And Harbona, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman hath made for Mordecai, he telling on him, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon.
Yeah. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it.
Yes, sir.
You see, that's scripture. So basically, when his wife got in his ear and told him build some gallows, you feel me? He had that prepared for his own death.
Right.
And his house.
Yeah.
It wasn't just him that got hung. You feel me? As we keep reading, you're going to see.
Yeah, and then that's funny.
They prepared, in other words, he dug his own grave. No doubt. Well, that's torture, boys. You know somebody finna kill you and they tell you there's a shovel right there, dig. You about to dig your own grave. You feel me? That's basically what he did. He built them gallows for himself.
Yeah, and he say, and Harbona, one of the king's chamberlains, was like, oh yeah, by the way, this dude done built some gallows over at the crib 50 cubits high.
Yeah. Your boy been tripping.
Yeah, he's been tripping. Verse 10. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified.
Let's get into chapter 8, because it ain't all the way over yet. It's almost over.
Yeah, but that was something that you got down using in chapter 5, where he was telling his wife he was excited about going to that next dinner. He was excited about it. He was telling everything. He just was pissed because look, I got invited to the dinner drink.
Right.
When I came out of there, I seen that nigga
Mordecai.
Oh yeah, well you gonna hang him on them 50 gallows.
Got something for you, Mordecai.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and get that together. Got it together and not knowing that by the time you get to that banquet, you're gonna be getting hung on your own gallows.
Man.
Man. Yeah, by the way, man, he got the gallows.
Yeah, he got the, by the way, boy got the gallows. And he up in
Yeah.
the queen bed and everything, man. Like he is beyond tripping.
Wow.
Right? Let's get into chapter 8, because don't forget that the post already went out.
Right.
That our people supposed to be destroyed on a certain day. Our post already went out, man. You understand?
The decree was signed.
Yeah, and it was stamped with the king's ring.
Yeah.
His signet. Baby, so that look, so the orders already, even though we didn't kill Haman, the orders have already went out. Come on, Hebrew.
Chapter 8.
Mm-hmm.
On that day did King Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther, the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what was unto her.
What he was unto
What
her.
he was unto her.
Esther let it be known. Because remember, at first it was like, look, hide your kindred. Then let it be known, like, you know what I'm saying, we cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really raised me because my parents, you know what I'm saying, dead. So, you know what I'm saying? So she ended up revealing to the king who Mordecai was to her. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
Look at that. You feel me? So now the whole, when it says the house, you just keep thinking of one little small house.
No.
But the whole house of Haman is his whole estate.
All of
his land, his cattle, all of it. You know what I'm saying? Any buildings he got built on that deal, all of it. Dig? And he got the king's ring. Right? So it's like Mordecai becomes the right-hand man of the king. You dig? Just like in all our captivities, we had Israelites that you would call in corporate. You feel me? Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. They wasn't field Negroes. It was more like house Negroes. You understand? Most I was dealing with them though. Joseph in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And even this situation right here. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman, the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews. Then the king held out the golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king, and said, If it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of
Hammedatha,
the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which are in all the king's province.
So she like sent out an order to reverse the order that Haman sent out. You feel me? If it's an executive order to destroy these people, reverse that order. You understand? And save this people. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
You see, she knows it's bigger than her. She's like, I can't live to see the destruction of my people, my kindred. All right? How many sellout Negroes a day, they wouldn't even say it nothing, man. You feel me? As long as they themselves are cool, they wouldn't even say it nothing. You feel me? You don't care.
Blood sacrifice.
Yeah. You feel me? You supposed to be in spirit and body like Judas Maccabees, like Mordecai here, the Benjamite, like Queen Esther or Hadassah. You supposed to love your God and love his people, man. Period. You dig? That's the mindset you supposed to have. We together. There's no you, there's no I, it's only us. We together, man. You understand? And when we rock like that, the Most High does mighty works for us, man. Later for that individualism. Y'all was came over here together, pissing and defecating on one another.
Yeah.
You feel me? And no matter how much it seemed crazy now, like the men and the women can't get along, we leaving up out of here together too. You understand? We're going to have to get our act together, man, by any means necessary. Get in the order of the Most High, by any means necessary. That's what we powerful at. We ain't powerful. You're not powerful by yourself.
No.
Right? We a squad. We a nation. 12 tribes. You understand? Under our king.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, man. Like, get that mindset about you that you an individual. Babylon, which means confusion, has confused all of us.
Yeah.
So where you don't even care about your people no more, as long as nothing's happened to you in your own little cubby hole.
Right.
You fine. You can care less.
Your own vain existence.
Yeah. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Then King Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, in the king's name.
In the king's name.
And seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no man reverse. Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is the month Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and the deputies and rulers of the province, which are from India unto Ethiopia, 127 provinces, unto every province, according to the writings thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writings, and according to their language. And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post, on horseback, and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries, wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together, and to stand for their life.
Yeah.
To destroy, to slay,
that's right,
and to cause to perish all the power of the people in province that would assault them.
That's right.
Both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
So you see, the order goes out. You feel me? Even though it's by Mordecai, but it's in the name of the king. Basically, that the Hebrews stand up and fight.
Right, defend yourself.
Anybody coming to bring harm to y'all, you got a right to lay them down.
No tag and bag.
You see, ain't nothing. You can defend yourself. You just gonna go looking for nothing. But you got every right to defend your house, defend your family, defend your people,
and then take that stuff for us.
Yeah, and then that's look them laws of war though. You feel me? You take a prey. It's called expropriating. Even today, under the Geneva Act and all that, dealing with wars or whatever, you taking something from someone, you feel me, after a war or whatever, is not stealing. You feel me? Is what? Taking what they call booty, the spoils of war. All right? But notice it goes out there, what? Defend yourself.
Right.
Handle your business. Go ahead.
The only thing I keep tripping off of is that it keeps saying in all their languages. So these 127 provinces must be a vast space. Because how far do you have to go before somebody's speaking another language?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. That's why we definitely got different dialects. Like you got people in New York.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you get down to let's say Alabama somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got, I wouldn't say it's a different language, but we all
but it's a different dialect of English.
Yeah, exactly.
But these all got different language.
Yeah, look, you got countries on there like India, which speak a different language than Ethiopia. You feel me? This got to go out in all languages because he's ruling over more than just where he at.
Right.
He ruling all over 127 provinces. That was like a world empire at the time.
Wow.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 12. Upon one day in all the province of King Ahasuerus, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar.
Adar, right? Which starts
December.
Right, which starts tomorrow. dealing with the destruction of Nicanor, right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
The copy of the writings for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies.
Be ready to fight for your life.
Yes,
be ready
sir.
to fight for your God and his people. See that? That's what this Purim is about. You see why a lot of people folks want you to stay out the Old Testament and all that, man. The Old Testament, they don't want you in that spirit, that vibration. You feel me? Of praying to your Elohim, praying to your power. You understand? And your people coming together and petitioning the heavens together. You understand? And that way victory start happening for. They don't want you in that vibration.
They want you under the individuality.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not to look at the coming together for us to pray together on one accord.
Unified in prayer.
Not to even know the history, because you look at the examples go back to the history before times where the Most High showed up for us. But it was us all together under the same faith. You know, it's a way to break that. You know what I'm saying? You break that amongst us as a whole nation of people and give that to us for its individuality, then we start having our own individual prayers of things that is really vain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. It's worth nothing. You start praying for a car or something. You know what I'm saying? That who knows? You may have an accident. You know what I'm saying? And what would you say? But it almost, I don't want to say it's like Haman making gallows or nothing like that, but just such vain things that we pray for. We pray for. And we don't understand the outcome of it. You know, it may bring us something wicked. You know what I'm saying? But you can pray to the Most High for it, and things become vain.
Yeah. Temporary pleasure.
Yeah.
And we get Hebrew.
I'm going to read that verse 13 again. It said, the copy of the writings for the commandment to be given in every province was published unto the people, and that the Jews should be ready against the day to avenge themselves on their enemies. So the post that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment. And the decree was given at Shushan the palace. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad. And the Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor. And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people many of the people of the land became Jews. For the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Meaning they converted to the ways and worship of our God.
No doubt.
You feel me? So that's showing you other nations can actually serve the God of Israel. You understand? If they're willing to forsake all that they know, you feel me, and how they live and live by the law, statutes, and commandments and judgments of the Heavenly Father, then guess what? They can be accepted. You understand? But that's the only condition. You gotta accept the true worship of the Heavenly Father. And you get that through his people. You dig? And so that shows you individuals out of nations can actually serve and worship our God, man. You see that? It is what it is. Right? So no matter what nobody got to say about it either. Certain people get angry and get mad. Look, it ain't got nothing to do with you. This is the Most High's business. Many people of the land decide to convert to the practice and worship of the Israelites. You feel me? Because they see the power. They see how the Most High's favor and how everything shifted. You feel me? It was looking hopeless for us, and guess what? We end up getting glory behind this. So that fear falls on everybody. Haman and got hung and everything. Everybody like, dang, Mordecai around her in the fine linen with the rings and calling shots, and now everybody like, whoa.
Hey, it was the turn.
How about we become them? How about we live like them? That way we may have the same type of faith. You see that?
Their God is real God.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's get into chapter 9. We almost done with this, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
We almost done.
Short work. We're in the book of Esther,
Mm-hmm.
chapter 9, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the 12th month, that is, the month Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them.
That's right. That's the end game for anybody hating us, man.
No doubt.
We're going to have the dominion and rulership.
No doubt.
Right? You'll never destroy Israel. Ever. All right, come on, Hebrew.
The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus to lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people.
Hallelujah. You see that, boy? Serve a mighty power. Go ahead, huh?
And all the rulers of the provinces, and the lieutenants, and the deputies, and officers of the king helped the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
So even those that's charged to execute, you feel me, by the king, like the officers and lieutenants, they got to help God's chosen people. Say the fear of Mordecai. Mordecai just got advanced, man. He got advanced from being in the king's court to being the right-hand man of the king. And Esther is his cousin, the queen. Huh? Sound like an Israelite takeover, don't it?
Like a come up, boy.
The Israelite takeover. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 4. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater.
All praise.
Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
You see? So this spiritual war ended up getting physical. Right? It's part of it, man. You understand? They were coming for our lives. So guess what? We had to stand up and defend our lives. And the Most High power was with us.
That's right.
See that? You got to lay some heads down. Like, oh, you know, y'all not really ready, man. Feel me? But these type of situations these type of situations is just what it is. Abraham had to go take down 5 kingdoms to get his nephew Lot and them back. You feel me? This is way before Moses. Under the order of Melchizedek. Remember, he came back from the slaughter of the kings. And the Most High, God's priest over Jerusalem, Melchizedek, blessed Abraham. You feel me? Brought out bread and wine and said, "Be blessed be Abram of the Most High, who have delivered your enemies into your hand." It's radical talk, though, ain't it? Radical. That's the type of talk make you spill your coffee.
That boy's a revolutionary.
Yeah, you know, not my sweet Jesus. Huh? Or Messiah, Mashiach, Yahushua ain't sweet. You feel me? Maybe whoever they've been showing you your whole life, maybe he's sweet. But our God ain't sweet. His son, our Messiah, ain't sweet either. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 6. And in Shushan the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
Dang, in the palace, they had to body 500 men. Just in the palace alone, 500. Keep track of these numbers. Go ahead, Hebrew.
And Parshandatha, and Dalphon, and Aspatha, and Poratha, and Adalia, and Aridatha, and Parmashta, and Arisai, and Aridai, and Vajezatha, the 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they, but on the spoil laid they not their hand.
So we got 500 get bodied in Shushan. Then all 10 sons of Haman get killed. Huh? All 10 sons of them get put down. 510 so far. All right, come on, Hebrew.
On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan the palace was brought before the king.
Yeah.
And the king said unto Esther the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace.
Right.
And the 10 sons of Haman, what have they done in the rest of the king's province? Now, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done.
So 510 bodies just dealing with Shushan. Right? Like, this ain't even talking about all the other provinces.
Right.
The 127 provinces that he got rule over. Now, what is your petition, Queen? What's the word?
Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according unto this day's decree. And let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows. And the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan. And they hanged Haman's 10 sons. For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day also of the month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey they laid not their hands.
So on Wednesday night, you feel me, or Wednesday evening, on February the 27th, keep in memory what happened on the 14th day of Adar, right? 510 men and then 300 more men. So we up to 810 people that then got slain. 300 on the 14th of Adar. That kicks off Purim.
Right.
Right? Remember that. Just keep it in memory. Go over these stories with your family. Be like, you see that? See that, baby? Look, 300 of them got laid down for trying to come at us. You understand? And that gives them that spirit, that vibration, that, man, we special to the Most High. Your children need to know this. This is Black history, right? Hebrew history, right?
Right.
Or they need to know this history, man. And don't you get all soft and spine because, ooh, I don't want my children to read. I thought this was the Bible.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
Just the Bible, right? You don't want that warrior spirit on your children. That's the problem, man. Let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 16. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives and had rest from their enemies and slew of their foes 75,000. But they laid not their hands on the prey.
75,000.
Wow.
We thought the 500 and the 300 was something, right? So we got 75,810 souls thus far that had to get laid down because of that wicked plot by Haman. Zion had to stand up and defend themselves, man. Self-defense in the Bible.
8,310.
To 80, we had what?
8,310.
We had 75,000. Hold on. We had
75,000 and had 500. 800. Yeah, 810 is it?
Yeah, so 75,810. 75,810. Wow.
And that was like just 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Serious.
Woof. Verse 17.
This is in the Bible? Yes. Beautiful history. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 17. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested they, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
You see that? So 3 days, 13th, 14th, and 15th. But the 13th is the destruction of Nicanor as well.
Right.
You see that? So all these, that feast and this feast run together. 13th, 14th, and 15th. Wow. Beautiful history. Come on, Hebrew.
Therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another.
Right, they were sending portions, give gifts one to another. You know what I'm saying? Thanking the Most High. When you see the the imposters over there in the land, they treat Purim like it's Halloween, man. They dress up in different costumes and paint their faces and do all type of evil. Like, this ain't even in the scripture. What are y'all doing? You dig? But to send portions to one another. You feel me? Even for those that are less fortunate, like the poor. This be a good time to give to the poor, man. You know what I'm saying? To teach and preach the gospel to those that are less fortunate. You understand? Get some toiletry bags together, some hygiene. You know, there's a lot of people that's out here homeless. You understand? Pick some sandwiches, chips up or something. It'd be good to go on out there. Some clothes. It's cold in most places right now. You dig? It'll be a time for us to look out for the less fortunate that's around us.
Yeah.
Right? Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same yearly.
Yearly. You see that? So we got the 14th day of Adar starting the 27th at sundown. You feel me? And the 15th day of Adar starting March 1st at sundown. Okay? So that's what the Purim is. And then the 13th day of Adar as well, you feel me? That's part of it, but there's also got to do with the destruction of Nicanor. And when we read Nicanor, it called it the day of Mordecai. You feel me? Because this history was after. The history in Purim happened before the history in the Maccabees. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 22.
Yeah.
As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies.
That's right.
And the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another,
come on,
and gifts to the poor.
Gifts to the poor. Right? So ain't nothing wrong, man. Look out for the poor during these days.
That's right.
People like, what do we do? Eat good, you understand? Drink you some wine, go over these scriptures, but don't forget about the poor amongst your people, man. Sometimes the poor, you feel me, those that are less fortunate can't even hear what you're saying because their stomach is touching their back. You feel me? Or their shoes are talking.
Shivering.
You feel me? Or they shivering, ain't got no clothes, you know what I'm saying? It's you as the light is supposed to bring that light, man, and provide it if you got it. Provide it, man. You dig? And no, you don't need to get on Facebook and broadcast to everybody what you're doing.
You must have read my mind.
You dig? Like, let the Most High reward you openly by doing what you do in secret.
Right.
All right, come on now.
Verse 23.
Yeah.
And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pure, that is the lot, to consume them and to destroy them. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows. Verse 26. Wherefore they call these days Purim.
Purim, right? Why they call it Purim? Come on.
After the name of pure.
Yeah.
Therefore, for all the words of this letter and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such as joined themselves unto them.
Them, their seed, and all that joined themselves.
Right.
You feel me? You dealing with those of other nations or
Right.
strangers that want to serve the God of Israel.
Right.
They have to join themselves to the house of Israel. You feel me? That's just what it's been that though, man. That's law, that's Torah, that's law in the Torah. You feel me? It's repeated also throughout the Acts and all that in the New Testament. It's the same exact thing. If a stranger, there's one law for you and the stranger. You understand? They have to worship how we worship. It is what it is, bro. All right, come on, Hebrew.
So as it should not fail, that they would keep these 2 days according to their writing and according to their appointed time every year.
Every year we supposed to keep these appointed times, man. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
And that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation.
Every what?
Every generation.
Including this one, because there's a lot of y'all say you can't keep feasts outside of Jerusalem. Well, this feast wasn't kept in Jerusalem. They was in Persia when all this went down. You see that? This wasn't even in Jerusalem. No, this is another example of a feast being kept outside of Jerusalem, man. You see that? This says to every generation. That includes now, man.
Right.
That includes now. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Every generation, every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
Hallelujah.
Then Esther, the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter of Purim. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews, to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim in their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed, the matters of the fastings and their cry.
Hallelujah.
And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
All praises, glory, and honor, man. We got a few verses in chapter 10. Feel me? This is powerful history, and it lets you really understand our feast days, man. The majority of them are based around events like this.
Yes, sir.
To show you that the Most High Elohim, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, truly cares and loves his people. You understand? It's just time for us to be obedient. That way, supernatural things will crack off for us, man. And you're gonna need the Most High more and more in the days that we are approaching. Y'all see what's happening? School shootings every day, and United States embassies getting moved, and what they call natural disasters, even though we know these are plagues from the Most High sweeping the earth. You see it happening every day, man. You feel me? And in your short memory, you be like, yeah, whatever, that ain't affect me, so I'm cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. You dig? It's time for us to get serious about this thing, man, and get more focused in our prayers and our fasting and our meditation, calling on the Most High, invoking his name. You understand? It's just time for it, man. We'll do a video going over the different attributes of the Most High. You dig? Where you can find it written in the Hebrew and in the English and the scriptures. You go over it. You feel me? That way, even in your prayers, man, when you're sitting around the crib throwing out the vibrations and attributes of the Most High, it's y'all in your baby's ears and in their chest, and they throwing it back. And we need that. We need that, man. In faith. All right, let's finish this off, Hebrew. Chapter 10.
Chapter 10.
Yeah, it's only 3 verses in chapter 10. Y'all good?
It's saying the king Ahasuerus laid the tribute upon the land and upon the isles of the sea, and all the acts of his power and of his might, and a declaration of the greatness of Mordecai, whereunto the king advanced him. Are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia? For Mordecai the Jew was next unto the king Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews, and accepted of the multitude of his brethren, seeking the wealth of his people, and speaking peace to all his seed.
You see that? You see that stand-up brother right there, man.
But what is modern day Persia?
What you call today Iran.
That's what I thought.
Iran was Persia all the way up until like 1935.
Wow.
And somebody drew a line in between there and called the left side Iraq and the right side Iran, but it was Persia.
And Media.
Yeah, that's the same area. All that's right there. Look, and if you trip off the bottom of Iran, it's called the Arabic Gulf or the Persian Gulf.
Yeah,
it's called the Persian Gulf.
Sure is.
That's Persia.
Wow.
You feel me? That's that area over there. You feel me? And so that right there was just history. I ain't gonna call it quick history. We've been going about 4 hours. All praise.
Really?
When you in the script, that time fly.
Wow.
That time fly. You know what I'm saying? We got the destruction of Nicanor. We read about the Most High and how he delivered our people from that evil tyrant. He actually got his head cut off, tongue cut out, and right arm up to his shoulder cut off.
Because he was always like that.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah.
You know, so they took all of his
They took all
and
that.
hung it up with his head and his tongue.
We threw a feast for that to be remembered in every generation. The destruction of Nicanor, how Most High redeemed us and destroyed our enemies. That starts tomorrow night at evening, you dig? And then on the 27th at evening, the 28th at evening, and March 1st at evening, you got the 2 days of Purim. You understand? So we got 3 feast days back to back, or 2 feast days, but 3 days back to back. You feel me? Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, man. And remember the righteous acts of the Most High. Go over this history with your family, with your short leggers, with your spouses. You understand? Eat good. You dig? Drink you a little wine, have you a little merry heart. Don't forget the poor. Don't forget the poor. You feel me? Right. We also you want to send gifts to your brothers and sisters, whatever, man. Let's be sincere in your heart and intention, man, and come back to the Most High in full faith. Y'all brothers want to say something to close off?
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, definitely. We can start keeping these days where the Lord has showed up for us as a nation of people and dealt with our enemies. You know, get away from keeping them days where our enemies that came together and dealt with us as a nation of people for our destruction. We keep those days. You know what I'm saying? We want to get off into that. Don't think nothing bad of it. You know what I'm saying? It's our Lord coming to show himself for his nation of people. You know, so I'm with that. All praise due to the Most High.
The only thing I can say, man, is if you really want to know Black history, pick up a script and get knee deep in it. But they stop it at the slave shores here in the United States. They don't want to let us know who we truly are. But the Most High gave it to us right here. All we need to do is read it and follow the instructions, man. And always remember, we're not individuals, man. We're a nation of people. They try to keep us separated. It's divide and conquer is their whole strategy, man. You understand? We stand together, we stand strong, but it ain't for everybody. So if they're not receiving it, brush the dust off and keep it moving, man, and keep your hand to the plow. Because as many that don't get it, there's gonna be those that do get it. So keep up the work. Yahoo.
Yahoo. And the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob cover you, guide your mind, your tongue, your spirit, all of it. You dig? And pray for us as we continue to pray for y'all.
That's right.
Feel me? We ain't got long to the fall of Babylon. Check in and check out. Long live the King. Yahoo.